in South Texas. Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, San Antonio. Welcome into the Morning Huddle. I am AJ Hoffman, your cordial host, joined as always by Mr. Rob Thompson. Good morning, Rob. Happy Monday. Mic's on. There we go. Good morning.
I'm afraid to touch my mic, so I'll be leaning into it like Don Pardo. Good morning. How are you this fine?
I'm doing quite well as we embark on week 3 of the Morning Huddle. We've had no major incidents yet.
None.
We haven't had any cussing matches or shouting matches with each other.
No, and if we did, it would be so early I probably wouldn't have remembered it.
Yeah, who wants to argue this early in the morning?
No.
Not us. Not us, I'll tell you.
Well,
what a weekend in the sports world, as we've got a heck of a show planned for you today. There's Game 7 drama. There's a hockey Game 7 tonight, Rob. And what's better than a Game 7 in hockey?
So I've been told. That is the thing, the finest in sports.
And I don't. There's no basketball tonight, right?
So we got that in WNBA. So calibrate your interest.
I did lose a little on my Caitlin hate account.
I saw the number. Honestly, I looked at it and thought, I'm not going to go there just because Karma, she's a bitch.
Karma, not Caitlin.
No, I didn't say Caitlin. Caitlin walks the beach with rose petals and Kobe's kids.
Yeah.
But Karma, she is a raving lunatic bitch.
She can be. And she got me a little. But luckily, I've been doing the thing where the limits on WNBA games aren't super high. So to get around that, I'm betting the full game, but I'm also betting first quarter.
Yeah, watching you do
half.
These games is pretty funny.
And the good news is first quarter, first half were easy wins. It was a confluence of events at the end of the game. For those who are unaware, the Liberty were 13-point favorites against the Fever on Saturday. And it looked like, it was going to be a blowout. They were up 23, 24 points at one point. This was domination. And I'm not saying that the WNBA needs to investigate into if their sport is rigged or not. But if you've got a 19-point lead with 2 minutes to go, and somehow the game ends 11 on a 13-point spread, I'm just saying it's suspicious behavior.
You know what they say about the WNBA? There's always another run.
It's suspicious behavior at best.
Always another run, AJ. You have to apply modern rules.
The
Caitlin Clark rules.
The Liberty scoring only 1 point in the final 3 minutes, and they only win by 11. But I think, you know what? They covered. The league's happy. I'm going to be back on the Connecticut Sun tonight because that's what I do. The hate.
Are they playing the Sun again?
Yeah.
My gosh.
First 4 games against the Sun and the Liberty.
Okay.
Who I think were both top 4 teams last year.
I think they're focusing too much on one subject here.
Yeah. I don't know what I would say, like, maybe it's a travel thing, but they're doing home and homes on all these. So
they got to save on that new private jet.
I've got no idea. Yeah, they're all flying charter. They think they're flying charter, but really, like, there's just a really thick curtain. And then there's 100 people behind them. Like, they put all those people on and they're like, okay, we're going to give you guys a discounted ticket, but you've got to stay really quiet throughout the flight. Make these girls think that they're the only ones on this flight. And they let the Fever off. And then they empty the rest of the plane.
The fact that they're only playing those 2 teams back and forth, I have questions about the level of investment into this private jet thing.
Well, and also, it makes me, like I said, maybe question the integrity of the game.
Oh,
like, is this I mean, are they
Okay.
really?
Question the integrity of the league with only 3 initials. How's the 20-point lead in the third quarter? How's that in a game?
Did that
7
happen?
At home?
I didn't see that.
Is that a game 7 at home? You have a 20-point lead in the third quarter, and you find a way to stumble and not just lose by 21, but a bit more than that.
Well, the difference is I saw that game with my own eyeballs, and
there we go.
I saw that it felt like that the 3-letter organization would have preferred the team that was up by 20 to stay up by 20, and it just didn't work out that way. But we're gonna talk plenty of NBA. The golf arrests. We've got so much to discuss. Rob took one for the team, and we had an appearance scheduled together.
Oh, that
on Saturday.
I thought, when you said that, I was thinking something entirely different. But yes, I didn't take one for the team. I wouldn't have had a fine evening.
Well, I was supposed to join you, is what I mean. Like I
certainly understandable.
But Rob went to the gunsling. So basically, what the gunslingers and the Brahmas are what we're going to talk about on the show today is the big plan. For anyone who's interested in football, we got football for you today as well. And we might as well just talk about it now.
Did you say the football we're offering today is arena and oofle?
Yes.
Okay.
If that works for you.
Oh, I'm in.
Well, you did wear your cowboy shirt, I noticed.
I did, but I kind of got dressed in the dark.
Oh,
yes. Okay.
But the big story of the day, Rob, is a NASCAR fight. And I don't know if there's more. I always wonder is like, do we consider NASCAR drivers athletes? And I understand driving for 5 hours or whatever it is difficult. Like, there's no doubt it's not an easy thing to do. Like, it does take a toll on the body. But I always question if a machine is doing the majority of the work, are you considered an athlete? And
is a jet fighter pilot an athlete?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It doesn't take away from what they're doing. I'm just saying it's probably not an athletic thing to do.
If it's fuel powered, I'm going to say not. Well, how about this? Are horse jockeys athletes?
No,
I don't think so either. But
horse jockeys are barely more than saddles.
But cyclists are athletes, right? Like the Tour de France guys.
Yes, that's athletic.
Okay, it's because they're doing the work to move the
well, yes,
the
and it's them. It doesn't have to do with an engineer who found another way to invert the gas load and called the explosion to go just slightly different, adding just 1 millimeter more in the torque department. No, it's the guy pushed the pedal faster than the other guy did.
Yeah, I mean, but yesterday they became athletes.
No, they didn't.
Because
just fights don't make you an athlete.
Listen, I saw a lot of fights this weekend. We've got an undisputed in the 4-belt era. We've got one heavyweight champion, which is such a rare thing.
Of NASCAR?
No. Of boxing.
Oh, I thought we had a new NASCAR heavyweight champ. Did Tony Stewart get knocked off?
No.
Oh.
But I saw that fight, and I saw this NASCAR fight, and I gotta say, I mean, quality was similar. I mean, the NASCAR fight was.
I thought you'd been harder on him. As one who has participated professionally in such things, I didn't think that was very high quality.
I just think you have to accept that this is for what these guys are. This was a good fight. Kyle Busch and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got into a fight. I honestly, this is embarrassing as someone who talks about sports for a living for the last, 20-something years. I don't know which one was which. If you showed me a picture of
Kyle was the white one.
Well, they're both white.
Oh.
If you showed me a picture of Kyle Busch and said, that's Kyle Busch, I'd be like, maybe. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., no way. But then other people got involved in the fight, like their glommers, their pit crew, or whoever the hell it was. But either way, whichever one has the goatee threw a punch.
Again, they all have goatees.
No, only one had a goatee in this fight.
So the guy with the goatee, of course, threw the first punch.
Of course he did. But he said they were arguing over who wrecked who, and he said, you drove me into the wall. And he said, I didn't drive you. Go back and watch it. And as soon as he said, go back and watch it, he threw a punch. And the reason why I respect it, Rob, is I think when you say go back and watch it, like the guy was probably thinking, okay, I'll go back and watch it and we'll discuss it later. He wasn't expecting a punch to get thrown at that time. Now,
slingshot engaged.
It was a terrible punch. It was not a quality punch by goateed NASCAR driver. But
I believe that's Stenhouse Jr. I hope.
He did the thing where what you really need in a punch is much like what you need in a baseball swing or a golf swing. It's a transition of weight and even throwing a football, a transition of weight from your back leg to your front leg. And as that weight goes from your back leg to your front leg, you want to move your arm and make contact. This was one of those where when he lands a punch, he never got onto that front foot quite. So when the punch lands, his body kind of pushed back away from the punch.
He came around, but I think you should offer your services here. For one, probably don't want to use your hands. I think you want to teach these guys come in with an elbow or a knee
that's my driving hand.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's my shifting hand.
I mean, you kind of need both hands.
That is a shifting hand, right?
Well, depending on how you drive. Some of us drive with strangers. I would think you'd need to be taught if you're gonna NASCAR fight, you need to come in with an elbow or a knee or a foot. You need your feet because you got to be able to shift.
I'd come in with a tire iron.
There you go. See, you're going to have to do better than a sideways punch because you're going to break your thumb.
Well, here's the deal. Yeah, you got to turn that hand over.
You got to bring it over.
But here's what I think is these guys are going to be suspended next week anyway. So he's like, I can risk injury here knowing I'm going to get a week off. But I might be wrong. All I know is the guy who threw the first punch, he ended up on the ground. He was also wearing I don't know, some kind of embarrassing shorts and a t-shirt while the other guy was still wearing his driving suit. What do they call that?
I think the driving suit.
The driving suit or his uniform or his costume, whatever you want to call it.
Prescribed driving attire.
Yeah, he's wearing his costume. So the other guy clearly got wrecked earlier in the day. And then also maybe
stewing on it.
Yeah, he'd had time to think about it, and by God, he wasn't going to take any more.
A couple of Busch Lights.
He wasn't going to take any more. No, I don't think he wasn't drinking Busch because his beef was with Kyle Busch. So he was drinking.
Oh, they have to drink the signature. Isn't it the Busch series?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. I think it depends on what your brand is.
Laughing Clown.
Because there's always been like a Miller Lite car and a Bud Light car, right?
Oh, yes, there are.
So I think you drink whichever one sponsors you, not whichever one sponsors NASCAR. But I know if you're going to fight a guy whose last name is Bush, you don't want to drink his family's beer.
Wearing his beer.
Yeah, that'd be embarrassing. All right, we're going to hit a break. We'll talk.
No go finger, either one. No.
This was the biggest sports story of the day, and we'll be reporting on this throughout the day, but we will take a break from it and get into some NBA next. We have our Final Four set.
Ran me into the wall.
Damn it, you ran me into the wall. Go back and watch the tape. Wow!
Tape?
I'm not watching no damn tape. How about I bust your ass instead, pal?
Rubbing racing, cowboy.
How about I bust your ass instead, Bubba?
Bring it, cowboy.
I wonder if they all call each other Bubba.
No, that's half then half the pit crew goes, what?
That's true. Wow, that'd be awkward. What do you think they say? But you don't say
Uncle Cousin Bubba?
Yeah, they say pal, but in like a derogatory way.
Bro.
Like, when you call somebody pal, but you're not their pal at all. You mean it as like a.
No, I go pals kind of on the side. Like, I really don't know you. Like, hey, pal. If I go to Haas, if I escalate it to Haas, we're having words.
What do you say? Like,
hey, Haas. Hey.
What do you say if somebody bumps into you at the bar? Like, and let's say they spill your drink and they just keep walking. Is that a Haas?
No, that's pardon me. Hey, pardon me.
You say pardon me?
Yeah, well, I want to make sure they know that I'm there.
What if they ignore you and keep going?
If they keep going,
then it becomes a Haas?
I'm evaluating the size.
Okay. Well, you're a big fella.
Yeah, very rarely do they. I'll be honest. Most of the time, I get an apology.
Well, yeah, you're about that size that warrants an apology.
I mean,
yeah.
And for the most part, I look like a guy that I'm not going to come at you. I'm not on the prowl. So,
But I mean, listen, when someone spills a drink on you, maybe your demeanor changes.
I agree. But you're always going to get a sense of the vibe of you get a feeling you might bump into some dude who's looking for it, and you can kind of tell. You get that spidey sense. Like if I square on this dude, it's going to happen.
I present more aggressively than you.
Yeah, you do. But you can also read the room. Sometimes if you're in for a fight, yeah, you can give him a little something back. But you can also read the room. If this cat's got his head down, he's got bulldozing through. He's looking to fight. And if it's not me, it's going to be the next cat.
Rob's not looking to fight.
No, man, I'm a lover.
I like to fight. It's not a great trait to have.
No, but
especially as now I'm like 43 years old.
My friends that like to fight now, it's a lot better because they get tired. They get down there, they'll fight for about 30, 45 seconds tops.
That's all anybody needs to
like
any bar fight. If a bar fight lasts more than 45 seconds,
they're going to get tired.
Sloppy.
As long as we're, being honest, ain't nobody pulling anything stupid.
Yeah.
Like old time bar fight, it might go for a minute or two, and then everybody kind of sobers up and laughs about it, or we get separated and just go someplace else. Now it's about 15 seconds and they're on the ground, and and both of us are limping out.
That's the way to do it, baby. That's the way to do it. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves. I never wavered in my belief of the Timberwolves.
What?
I was right all along. Rob was wrong. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. You check the tape, pal. We'll talk about that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
Feel that heat? That's how it should feel when you're outdoors watching your favorite team coming up to bat, not in your home. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 and get a free quote for new energy-efficient windows.
Nigel, what are you doing with all this stuff in the break room? It looks like a farmer's market in here.
I'm changing my eating habits, embracing good quality nutrition with fresh produce.
Folks, maintaining a healthy AC system is just like maintaining a healthy diet. Let's make sure your system is clean and efficient. Nigel, that's a pretty impressive healthy salad you've assembled.
Thanks, Joel. Now step back. The grease is hot.
Grease?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
Hats off to all the 2024 graduates. Whether they're stepping into the next chapter of their lives or reaching a significant milestone, they deserve something extraordinary. At Diamonds Direct, you can shop for gifts under $1,000. From stunning diamond pieces to timeless pearls, this selection is the perfect way to recognize their dedication and success. Each piece is crafted with care and attention to detail, making it the perfect way to commemorate their graduation day. Consider a dazzling birthstone pendant showing off the qualities that make them who they are. Or perhaps classic diamond studs to complement the graduation attire and serve as a lasting reminder of this achievement. At Diamonds Direct, we understand the importance of honoring milestones, and we are here to help you find the perfect gift. This graduation season, let Diamonds Direct be your partner in celebrating their journey. Diamonds Direct, where milestones shine brighter. Explore our grad gifts in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code ALAMO for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code ALAMO. Prize Picks. Fantasy, you're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code ALAMO, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Some people just know the more you protect, the more you save with Allstate, because they know insurance math. Like if you protect your home and auto, Allstate can save you up to 25%. So it's like losing money if you don't bundle. Save more when you protect more. Bundle home and auto with Allstate today.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime! Upon further review, looks like Ricky Stenhouse Sr. got involved, and he threw a punch at Kyle Busch, like kind of a cheap shot. And then Kyle Busch punched Ricky Stenhouse Sr. in the face. I'd feel bad if I got my dad beat up for a fight that I started.
You think this is the first time this has happened in NASCAR?
No, of course not. But like, imagine you like your son gets in a fight, and then you try and like get involved, and you just get your ass whipped. If I was your son, if I was Clay, I'd feel bad that I got your ass whipped.
Well, yeah, you better. But daddy.
The Minnesota Timberwolves are headed to the Western Conference Finals, and the Denver Nuggets will not repeat as champions, despite the best efforts of the officiating crews. Karl Anthony Towns was not allowed to breathe or whistle or move. And otherwise he was getting called for a foul last night. And the Joker was allowed to basically do whatever the hell he wanted. It was WrestleMania for Jokic, and everybody else was having to be in ballet class. But it's wild because when you really kind of dig into it, Anthony Edwards was not what he'd been for the whole series. In fact, he wasn't good. Right? In the first half, he was just bad. Second half, he kind of picked it up. Offensively, he was bad. In the second half, he kind of picked it up a little bit, did some things away from the ball that helped them win, but it was not an Anthony Edwards game. And I think I would have thought in a game 7 on the road, it was going to take an Anthony Edwards game to win it. Not the case, mostly because it was also not a Jokic game or a Murray game, as neither of the, first of all, I say that they're the only two guys who scored any points for the Nuggets. Of their 90 points, those two guys scored 69 of them. Nice. But not an easy 69. Nice. It was difficult. And Joker played 47 minutes. He fought for everything. They just couldn't really get a rhythm. And in the second half, defensively, the Timberwolves stepped up. 37 points in the second half for the Nuggets. It's hard to win games like that. They had a 20-point lead in this game, and somehow the final score 98-90. Minnesota gets the win. I kind of thought it was at halftime. I was like, man, this is over, and it certainly felt that way. But there was no signs of life in the second half for this Nuggets team. Where do the Nuggets go now, Rob?
What give up 20 in the nowhere. Stay where you are.
Okay.
I need to get some help from Jokic, but this is still a championship caliber team. They lost to a Minnesota team that was built to beat them. That
certainly
that had been put together over the last couple of years with them in mind. And they were a couple buckets away, and a horrible fourth quarter for everybody involved. Head coach, assistant coaches, players. It was just one of those collapses that you can't put your finger on one thing because everything went wrong. And don't change anything. Get some help for Jokic. Get a point guard that'll take some weight off his plate, and come back again next year. And know this: you did learn something. Jamal Murray is not going to be a guy that's going to be there when it gets tough. He's not. He's a front runner, and know that you've got a front runner and use him appropriately. But know from now on, when it gets tough, he's not going to be the guy you can go to. You're going to have to get somebody or develop somebody to be plan B.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think, and there's going to be games where Jokic just is off. He
wasn't off yesterday. He was alone.
Yeah.
Look at it.
He was chucking some threes.
He had to. He was alone. He had a phenomenal game. They did not lose because of him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I didn't think that. I mean, compared to how he played in the rest of the series, I didn't think he was great yesterday. I mean, I think the final stat line looks good, 34 and 19. You see that and you go, yeah, that's pretty damn good. But 13 of 28 from the field, 2 of 10 from 3. Not the most efficient night. Struggled defensively, I thought. And this was the game, like, Gobert didn't do a lot on the offensive end, but Gobert actually had a little success defensively for like the first time in, maybe since he had a kid. It seemed like he'd been struggling since then. And Karl Anthony Towns and Jaden McDaniels were the keys to this team last night. Naz Reid had a good game as well, but this was maybe sort of a redemption game for Cat, who there were some people, I'm not going to name any names, but there were some people who thought that they couldn't win because of Karl Anthony Towns, coming into this series. And
it was me.
What? It was you?
I'll take full responsibility. He's changed my mind. I'm not all the way in, but I'll give him this. He's there when they need him.
Yeah.
And there's other guys that on the other side that weren't.
Well, he showed up big. We'll have more about this game later on in the program, I promise you. And we'll be previewing some of what's going on in the Western Conference, because we're going to talk about the Mavs Thunder as well. But coming up next, we're going to talk Pacers and Knicks. And this Knicks team that, boy, was there a lot of talk about them. They go out with a mighty whimper last night. we got to rewind and figure out what the hell happened to this team. It's a Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on the Blitz, Scotty Scheffler in a wild weekend at the PGA Championship. We're going to continue to talk about that. Plus, the Eastern Conference Finals are set. We'll have the latest on the Western Conference playoffs. And Ryan Eagle returns. How did he play this weekend out at the golf course? We're talking about it on the Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Kick off the summer with Family Dollar. What you need: disposable plates, hot dogs and grilling essentials, to sunscreen, bug repellent, and more. Stop by today to see how you can save at Family Dollar, helping you do more.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Pack the Dome this Saturday for Hats Off to Heroes as the San Antonio Brahmas play their final home game of the season against the Birmingham Stallions. The playoff push is on for the San Antonio Brahmas, and it's a yellow out to display our support for our troops. Wear yellow, help us support our troops, and be loud for the final home game of the season. It's the Brahmas against Birmingham Saturday afternoon at 2 in the Alamo Dome. Get your tickets now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love. But here in Texas, we don't expect the ways water is breaking down our foundations and damaging our homes. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is shifting. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Foundation Support Specialists. Make sure your investment is protected. Get your free inspection at foundationsupportspecialists.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news.
Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve, but passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuit seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-439-4252. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-439-4252. That's 800-439-4252. Again, 800-439-4252.
This is Jason Minix. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. And the Timberwolves weren't the only underdog road team Game 7 upset winner, because the Indiana Pacers also got the job done. And this was one of those games that it was decided very early, and you knew right away that the Knicks were in big trouble, because I'm not sure that the Pacers missed a shot in the first quarter. And it was like, oh my, they're going to run away with this thing. And the Knicks made it a game. I say they made it. I mean, they got within double digits or within single digits late in the game, but it never felt like they were really threatening. Anunoby came back, played 5 minutes. Jalen Brunson broke his hand in the third quarter and played for a little while, then realized, yeah, my hand's broken and we're not winning this game. I'm out. This was the I don't know that even if you thought the Knicks were going to lose this game, I think it was hard to project that they would just get laughed out of Madison Square Garden like this.
Well, I mean, there's no one left. I mean, if you're going to go down in the Garden, you might as well go down that way, because they did go down swinging and there was just nothing left. It was ugly, but it wasn't ugly in a way where you felt like the Knicks got, just beat up or pantsed. They were valiant in defeat. The Nova Knicks are going to go down in history. There just wasn't enough there. And that it felt just kind of like over and sad, but I didn't feel bad for the Knicks, because I think honestly they walked into the game knowing it's going to have to go absolutely perfect tonight, absolutely perfect. And the moment Anunoby limped off, they knew that perfect wasn't going to be a possibility.
But I think they knew that he was going to be limited. But man, some of the things, like McBride was dreadful.
Well, I mean, what do you expect from McBride?
Yeah. I mean, but if here's what I expect, Rob, like maybe don't go 0 of 6 from 3. Like if you go 0 of 3 from 3 and then realize it's not your night, and let some of these guys who have been carrying the load.
Down by 20, AJ. We're down. I got what shoot it. I would. What, I'm not the best option right now?
I would just go DiVincenzo. God bless him. He tried to keep him in that thing last night.
Another guy that I have, I never thought ill of DiVincenzo. I just
thought he was a scrub.
Yeah, I did
too.
And now the Nova Knicks are going to go down and never have to buy another lunch, and the rest of their lives they're going to go down with the Clyde Frazier-esque types, because the heart and soul of that team Those guys brought it. There was never a doubt that they weren't going to be there for each other.
Yeah. I will say I do think in hindsight, the idea that, oh, we're seeing the best New York Knicks since Walt Frazier or Earl Monroe or whoever. Maybe that came a little bit too soon, with Jalen Brunson. And I'm not saying that Jalen Brunson isn't a really good player, but putting him in that Walt Frazier, Patrick Ewing, Willis Reed, Earl Monroe discussion, it's like,
no. Let's look again, because the run he went on,
he had a great dude.
Is biblical.
He had a fantastic playoffs, especially. But let's also remember that, Walt Frazier won a couple rings, and this is a guy who's done it. And then we see this guy who's having a good season or a good playoff run, and we say, oh, well, he's the best since Walt Frazier. Like, that's when those statements get made, it's so hard to live up to. That's why, the people who are saying Anthony Edwards is the next Michael Jordan, I'm like, well, let's not do that. But you can see some qualities in it, but you don't want to say the next this or the best since this, because then it just feels like, man, when they fail, it's always easy to look and go, oh, that guy, that's the next Walt Frazier. You sure? And it's not a fair comparison, like, especially these guys who are a couple years into the league.
If you want to compare, he's better. If we want to get down to it, Jalen Brunson's better
than Walt Frazier.
If we're just comparing numbers in a postseason. Now, the only thing he didn't come up with was a ring, but Clyde never dreamed.
But that's kind of
Clyde never dreamed of 40 a night for 5 consecutive. If we're going to compare things.
But that's kind of like, this is the other thing, though. In 40 years, is anyone going to remember what Jalen Brunson did?
Yeah, that's the problem with this. I think of the Elite Eight, of everybody that's still been playing, I think the Knicks are going to have the most difficult time repeating this. Of all the teams that were still playing, I think we look at them and go, man, you had to be hot as, a fish grease to get here. And it was because of Jalen and the others. And when it came to, the others not named, or from Nova, there just weren't enough others. It just wasn't enough.
Like, I think it's safe to say now Jalen Brunson's worked his way into like a top 25 player in the league. I don't know if they have another one. Anunoby's probably top 50.
Well, Randall, if healthy, is probably top 50.
Yeah.
But, we didn't see him. And I'm not sure when they look at him.
Do they keep it together?
Yeah, whether he's worth keeping around.
I guess what the Knicks have is a new star. But right now, it just feels like, man, this, especially going down the way they did, it's hard for me to picture them back next year doing the same thing again. And they didn't even, thank God, kind of, that we didn't see them go up against the Celtics, because this version of the Knicks, like this depleted, gassed out. And this is something we said was happening. Like, it's obvious the Knicks are out of gas. And if they do limp through this series, they're sacrificial lambs.
What's your opinion on Thibodeau today? I don't know what it was before, but what is it today?
I don't think it's changed. I think he's a good coach. He's a coach that people aren't really thrilled about playing for. But I think he gets good out of his players until they get tired of him. I don't know that they've gotten tired of him yet, so maybe they can push for him again. But the more success a team has, the more tired of a coach like Thibodeau that they're going to get.
Yeah, they do have an opportunity to build something, and I'm just not sure Thibodeau's the type of guy that stays to see the end.
Yeah.
But I do think he has certainly earned a little bit of credit and a little bit of money to kind of go augment what was a kind of a depleted roster. Some of it because of the way that they play, but some of it was because Thibodeau's a hell of a coach, and those guys got there because of the defense and becoming a really good, cohesive basketball team. I'm not mad at him. I have a feeling Knick fan might be willing to give them another year or two. And if they do, I think that they'll be okay. But of everyone, they're the least talented, and they're going to have to do some more work to get back to where they were this year.
Yep. We will talk about the Pacers, their chances against the Celtics a little later on in the show. Next, we're going to talk about the series that ended on Saturday, the Mavs and the Thunder. and the best game of the weekend, certainly.
Wow.
Fantastic finish, although not the way you hope a playoff game, especially a deciding playoff game, gets finished, but I think it was the right way. We'll talk about that. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
Are your windows struggling to keep up with the game? It's time to upgrade with Maverick Windows. Stay ahead of the competition with energy-efficient windows. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 to get a free quote.
Febreze. Ooh, I'm so ready for this weekend away with my girl.
Hey, hit the road. How about some free gas?
Free gas? How?
Try new Febreze car for some serious freshness, and you can win gas for a full year. Visit Febreze.com to learn more.
Say less.
You made now? Whip.
Thanks, DJ Fresh. Now how about some music?
Hey, yo, this next one goes out to new Febreze car for giving you a chance to win free gas.
La, 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 la.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 to enter in 73124 for rules and how to enter. Visit Febreze.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. Here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This summer, click into cordless power with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Tackle more than half an acre of grass with the convenience and gas-like power of the Ryobi 40-volt battery-powered mower. And keep your flower beds fresh with a 40-volt cordless string trimmer. Then clear debris with the 40-volt jet fan leaf blower. Click into Memorial Day savings happening now at your cordless power source, the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters. And, hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say.
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle. Ooh, this is a new song? New in the rotator? A little better.
Fresh in the Scroggin department.
A little better. The Dallas Mavericks, the first team to punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals, the 5-seed Mavs, with a 117-116 win over the Thunder, also in comeback fashion. Also, if you watched, I don't know that they were up 20, but they were up close to 20, the Thunder were in the first half. And just a dominant second half performance by the Mavs. Although this came down to literally a foul call at the end of the game. And
well, it was a foul.
It was a foul. Absolutely, it was a foul.
Now, whether you call it or not, we could debate forever, but it was a foul.
And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander puts his whole mitt on the ball, and it looks like it's a clean block. The problem is, in the way the rule works, the ball would have had to become dislodged in some way, and it has to move. And PJ Washington kept his hand strong. It's my strong hand. Kept his hand strong. The ball doesn't become dislodged, and the follow-through gets him on the arm. And the refs actually said, like, if the ball would have moved, we would have considered the arm contact incidental, and it would have been a play on. But, you know, we had to call that foul there. And to his credit, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander said, I fouled him. I can't make that mistake there. And this is something I want to get into a little bit later, is kind of the gift and the curse of youth. But that was a young team mistake. And, you know, we talk about this a lot. We have been talking about this a lot, about the Spurs wanting to become the next Thunder. They want that trajectory that the Thunder have gone on. And the appeal is obvious. Having this young core all grow together and you know, get better together, and it's fun to watch, and it's fun to see it happen. But you're also going to have moments, especially when your leaders are young guys, that you're going to do some knucklehead thing, and it's going to go like, damn, that knucklehead thing just cost us a series.
Yeah, but I'm not mad at Oklahoma City at all. They passed every test. But the Peter principle, eventually you're going to get promoted to the level of your incompetence, and they got to where they needed to be, and they'll be back again next year. The only problem is with this maturation process is sometimes you never get the opportunity to come back. I mean, the process, ask the Sixers how the process has gone. So, I get it, and I appreciate what Oklahoma City has done, and I think they're going to go home, and once they kind of get over the sting, are going to look at themselves like, man, we went from worst to first. We were but a free throw or a foul away from going to the Western Conference Finals. And if the process is really just a 4-year process now instead of 7, like Billy showed us, I think that the Spurs can justify saying that. But here's the problem. How many teams have been right here in the middle of the process and things are right where they're supposed to be? And then one thing and another, and then another, and then you're Memphis.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So,
but to me, the best part was that SGA owned what he did. He didn't try to beat around the bush or blame the refs, and I respect him because he's right. You're right. It was a foul. Like, it wasn't a bad call. It was what it was. And a lot of the times you'll see these guys go and say, like, I can't. It's not something that should be called. I hate. It shouldn't be called at that point of that game, because I'm a believer in you call foul if it's a foul, and it was a foul. It is what it is, and SGA owned it, and I think that is a sign of a maturing team. The Thunder are going to be back.
Oh, boy.
I mean, there's no way they're not. They have 2 of the brightest young stars in the league. As they start to build around those guys, I wouldn't be shocked if, we talk about the Spurs kind of using their picks to bring in a free agent. Don't be shocked if the Thunder do that. Like, the Thunder say, okay, we know who our core really is. Now let's go add a veteran piece to this thing and kind of take it to the next level. And that team becomes really dangerous if they had the right kind of guy. If they had like a Jimmy Butler type, how much more interesting is this Thunder team?
Who's the best player left playing?
We'll talk about that on the other side. How about that, Rob? What a great tease you've just done. You're a radio pro. Man. Rob Thompson, AJ Hoffman. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your number one customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our number one customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Dave Ramsey here for my friends over at Connecticut in San Antonio. Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy. So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it. It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association. The team at Connecticut San Antonio can test your water, install a system, and provide treatment all without stepping a foot inside your home.
I'm Chris Canepa of Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try a Connecticut quality water softener for 90 days absolutely free. Call us at 656-PURE, that's 656-7873, or visit us on ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the Just Capital seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 for ongoing commitment to their workers, with initiatives like Sharing Success, which awarded 97% of their teammates additional compensation, nearly all in stock. This is the program's 7th consecutive year, awarding more than $4.8 billion in total. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NBA, now there's just 4 as the Minnesota Timberwolves came back from 20 down to beat the Denver Nuggets last night, 98-90. The Indiana Pacers beat the hapless Knicks in the Garden, 130-109 in Game 7, setting an NBA playoff record for shooting at 67% from the field. Tyrese Halliburton had 26 in the win. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Always like that intro. The top of the hour intro makes me feel like a conquering hero.
It is grand.
Yeah. Grandiose. I'm AJ Hoffman. He is Rob Thompson. We are the Morning Huddle. We've been talking some basketball matches, and we're down to 4. And Rob asked before the break, who is the best player still left standing? And it's an interesting question because I think there are 3 answers that you could make an argument for, and they're all dependent on what your time frame is. Like how over, if you say over the last, month, over the last year, over the last 3 years.
You better be talking about the last week.
I think there's different answers for all of those.
Now, I think we agree it's Luka, Tatum, and Edwards, right?
It's those 3 guys.
Okay.
Although, Ty Halliburton.
Yeah, real close. And Jaylen Brown might argue with you too. But
Tyrese Halliburton yesterday said, hey, don't forget about me, pal. I'm pretty good. And Rob says he's not traveling every single time he touches the ball. I'm not convinced.
That little step away, that's Chris Paul move. If Chris can do it, anybody can, right? We're allowed to do what he does.
I don't know that there's any rules anymore about traveling. I don't know. I certainly don't know them. But when I watch Ty Halliburton play, I'm like, that's a travel. I mean, and I don't, it's not like I'm bitching about it because I enjoy him as a player. I just feel like that they don't call traveling anymore. But he had a hell of a game. I'm not willing to put him in the conversation yet. I think if you do cut it down to just one day, he becomes that. But I'm going to keep it to those 3 guys for now.
Before we answer the question, of the 3 out there, who is the one that you look at and go, well, that guy can carry you? Or is it all 3? I mean, can all 3 of those guys put their teams on their back and go, well, I don't care what happens to the rest of you 4 that are out there with me. I'll get you there.
Anthony Edwards can do that.
I think he can. What about Luka?
He's had opportunities and hasn't done it.
Tatum?
No. That's why I won't say he's number 1.
Right.
I put him at 3rd on the list, and it's funny because had you asked me this question 2 years ago, I think he's number 1 on the list.
He was supposed to be.
His trajectory has declined, and I think there's some I don't want to call it a softness, but there's something to him that's not what I like.
A certain Dukeness. Certain
could be that. It could be that. There's something about him that makes me feel like he's not a dog. And Anthony Edwards, I get the opposite vibe from. I just feel like he is, even yesterday in a game where he didn't have his best game, it felt like he was the emotional leader of that team. It felt like he wasn't going to let his team lose. And when I look at these 3 guys, and if I'm one of their teammates and I'm looking at these guys, think about this, if you've played with 3 guys like these, isn't Edwards the one that you want to play with the most? Isn't he the one that you believe in?
Here's the thing. Luka would be the guy that I would pick, but he's also the guy that I would least like to play with. Yeah. Just because I got to wait 20 seconds to figure out if I'm going to be a part of this or not. I can stand and wait, and I can set a pick, but at the end of the day, Luka's going to dribble this thing out. Edwards, I'm not sure he's there yet. I mean, 16-8 yesterday, and it was adequate. You know, his game was all defense. I think he leaned into that, and it mattered. But Anthony Edwards carrying me to a title, I don't think he's there yet. I don't believe that he has to. I think they can win with him getting 16-8. I can tell you Dallas can't win with Luka getting 16-8.
But that's the other thing. Anthony Edwards can have an impact on a game where he goes 16-8, whereas Luka can't. If Luka goes 16-8, you already know Dallas lost.
It's over.
But with Anthony Edwards, he can impact the game in other ways. I mean, you mentioned defensively in ways that Luka just never will. To me, it's a tough argument, but I think I like Anthony Edwards right now. I just feel better with him because if he's got a bad shooting night, I feel like he's going to pick you up in different ways, and I don't know if Luka's capable of doing that.
Luka's going to have to do it. I mean, Luka's going to have to get 40. You can bring up Kyrie all you want, but Kyrie will be a difference maker at some point, but it's not going to be every point. He is the lone superstar there. He's the guy that has carried him this far, and he's going to have to continue doing it with the help of the others. And as long as Kentucky, number 25, or what's his name?
PJ Washington.
And Derek Lively.
Disrespect.
It is because, we took the best one as the Spurs and got Keldon off that team. With the way Lively's played, there's a chance. But, man, Luka's just going to have to do so much. You have to do so much to get them where they want to go.
And there's times when I see it with Luka, and I think that, this is his best season by far, in my opinion. I think for a multitude of reasons. I think he came into this season in shape, which he hasn't in the past. So I think he's taking the game more seriously. I think he and Kyrie work well together, and I think a lot of that has to do with Kyrie and accepting the role that he has. But yeah, I'm an Anthony Edwards guy, just for the simple reason that I think on a night where he doesn't score 40, he can still impact the game in a way that I don't know that Luka can. But it's a fascinating series. I know that, and the thing that I think I'm most excited about is we're getting new blood. Like, we're going to get a champion that people have questioned or doubted. And nobody's really questioned or doubted Anthony Edwards, but Karl Anthony Towns has gotten it in his career. Rudy Gobert has gotten plenty of it in his career. You talk about Mike Conley being cursed. But on the other side, it's the Luka there's been questions, and I keep saying, like, the dude's 25. Like, let's give him a chance. But it seemed like everybody was willing to give up on him really quickly. And then in the East, obviously Tatum, the questions are, I think, absolutely warranted at this point, because it's like nobody was more poised to become the next superstar of the NBA like Jason Tatum was, and has just fallen on his face and not taken the mantle. So somebody's going to win it. And it's no offense to the Pacers that I'm not including them in this. And we'll discuss that later in the show. I think they can actually give Boston a run for their money in a way that nobody has in these playoffs.
Just to hold them under 155.
Yeah. Which there's been times when that didn't happen this season. We'll talk about that. But I feel like this Western Conference matchup, had you told me before it started, we're going to get a 1 versus 5 or a 3 versus 5 in the conference finals, I'm like, okay.
I'll be honest. I don't think either one of them goes 6. I think we might get 6 in one of them. I think it's 5, 6. I don't think there's a lot of there. I think that we're headed toward a finals that's almost predetermined.
Okay, now that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think, and I'll just say, I think Minneapolis is going to roll. I think they're just way too big for Dallas. I don't care what they do, and the Celtics are just so much better. It's a matter of which of these two teams can dispatch the other, stay healthy, and stay in rhythm before they get into the finals.
Well, that's do you think Dallas, if Dallas were to make it, do you think Dallas has a chance against the Celtics?
No, well, probably no, not as much. No, they don't. They're just not enough. I think that they ran into a very unique matchup and a team that was just learning how to play playoff basketball, and they're going to run into much more savvy and more athletic teams. I think that it was the perfect matchup for the Mavericks, just like I felt like pretty much the perfect matchup for the Pacers to run into a Knicks team that was just battered and beaten.
Yeah, I think I give the Mavs a little more credit than you.
I do. You do. And some of that is I just didn't expect the others to continue to be as good as Lively and PJ have been. And I don't expect that to carry. It's just the odds tell me that young guys can't consistently continue to do this through one series to the next.
I just think it's important to remember that I know the Mavs stunk last year, but the year before they were in the conference finals. Like it hasn't been that long since they were, they beat the Jazz, they beat the Suns. That I don't think anybody really expected them to beat the Suns, and they did. And they've been a little bit battle tested. I really do. Last year, kind of, because I'm guilty of the same thing. It kind of made me think, well, maybe the Mavericks aren't that good, but the Mavericks have had health issues and things like that. But I think that they're live. I think Minnesota's better. I'm with you when it comes to that. I do think the times when the Nuggets had success against Minnesota, they had the bigs in foul trouble. And I don't know that Dallas has the beef to get these guys in foul trouble. And I mean, you mentioned PJ Washington, but PJ Washington's not the kind of, he's not getting in the paint and earning foul. He's drawing guys out and shooting. They just don't, I don't think that they're going to get enough whistles to put these Timberwolves bigs in trouble. And if they're able to decide what their rotation is in the front court, I just think Minnesota's too hard to handle. And Minnesota won 3 of the 4 games in this matchup in the regular season.
I think that's about the way we'll go. I say this will be a gentleman's sweep.
4-1.
I think, 5.
Wouldn't shock me, but I also give Dallas credit. They've gotten better as the season went on.
Yeah, and Luka's that good.
Think about the All-Star break. Did you think that, like, if you had said the Mavericks are going to be in the conference
I wouldn't
finals?
have. And I think you brought it up, and I think the consistent thing here, as long as Kyrie allows this to continue to feel good, it'll continue. But suddenly, if the Mavs are down 3-0, Kyrie might decide it's my time, and then things go south.
Well, if it's 3-0, like, where's it going to go south?
I guess 3. That should be the best way. 2-0, they lose a game. You just don't want Kyrie to decide, I need to come in and save the day, because the moment he does that, things go real bad.
Yeah, I feel like you're probably right, but I think they're live. I think that, and you know what? I think the Pacers. I don't think they're live to win the series. But I think we're going to get better games than people expect in both of these series. Like, I'm kind of with you that I'll give the Mavs. I think it goes 6. I think Timberwolves in 6. But I think there's competitive games. I think that there's more single-digit games than there are double-digit games
in the West.
Yeah. But I think there might be. I think there might be a couple close games in the East. I think the Pacers will win a game or two. And I think that the Celtics are going to go, okay, we can't just walk through everybody. And there's going to be nights when Halliburton goes off and Tatum struggles, and it's going to be, I think there'll be games. I don't know if it's going to feel like a series, but I think there'll be moments for the Pacers.
If I'm Carlisle, we are practicing today. We hit the ground running. I don't want Boston to wake up till the second quarter. I want to have 25-point lead as fast as I can get one on Boston, knowing full well that Bear's going to wake up.
But and I kind of think Minnesota and Dallas are hoping that, and normally you hope that the other series goes 7, but the way that the Celtics series have gone so far, it might be for the best if they're never really worried or tested. And you just show up and you try to be the one to throw a scare into them, because the Celtics are a team I could see you'd like to play them a little overconfident. And the way the Eastern Conference has worked out this season, the Celtics they've not had a reason not to be confident, because the only other 2 teams in the conference that felt like they were any threat fell off the map early in Philly and Milwaukee. And they're just kind of on cruise control.
They play to the level, and that look out for an early upset, man. I'm going to play real close attention tomorrow night. What is it, tomorrow night or Wednesday? Who do we get first?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yep.
I like the overs in a lot of places.
All right, let's hit a break, and when we come back, Rob, I'm going to ask you, what is the value of a testicle? It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
When it's time for a brake job, go with a solution that delivers one of the smoothest and most quiet rides on the road. Napa Silent Guard brakes. Made with fiber-reinforced shims that eliminate noise for the life of the pad. Rubber-coated hardware for a better fit on 99.5% of vehicles. And quality design that meets and exceeds OE performance. Napa Silent Guard brakes deliver the stopping power and performance drivers demand in their vehicles. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
With Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal, you can get your choice of a sausage or bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin with small seasoned potatoes.
And with all that for just $3, it really is a proper breakfast, wouldn't you say? Huh? With a light and fluffy toasted English muffin and crispy seasoned potatoes. Go on, Catherine, give it a go.
Okay. Jolly good morning.
Ah, close love. Grab a proper breakfast with Wendy's new $3 English muffin deal for a limited time.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Select a request English muffin deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders. Single item at regular price. Prices are higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on print purchase. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. Like 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. Switch today. With AutoPay using Denver bank account, plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details.
Feel that heat? That's how it should feel when you're outdoors watching your favorite team coming up to bat, not in your home. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 and get a free quote for new energy-efficient windows.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. You know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace.
If you've put off replacing windows because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door.
Just text BUY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month.
Text BUY to 200-300 right now. Text the word BUY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text BUY to 200-300.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Yeah, baby. 7:19. Here we go. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Rob, what would be if someone said you're going to lose a testicle and you want fair restitution, what would be a fair number in your mind?
Well, my response is, how many do I have?
Well, you
because
had,
if it's unreplaceable,
you had 2, you now have 1. And I don't know if they like put a ball bearing in there or something to even out the weight for you, but
ball bearing.
Well, yeah, I don't know what they would use exactly. Like a marble, what would they use?
I'm like think something
What's
a little
the
bit
prosthetic?
larger than that, but yeah, I think there is a prosthetic.
Okay.
How old am I? Am I a young man? Am I getting up there? Am I going to use it?
You are. I don't know how old he is. Didn't say how old he is in this story.
I will say if I am under the age of 45, there is no value that you could place on it of which I would sell.
Okay. So Benjamin Montemayor had been protesting. This is back in 2020, June of 2020. And this is the danger of protesting, by the way. This is back in the George Floyd protesting days in Los Angeles, and an LAPD officer shot him with a less than lethal firearm. And when I say less than lethal, it was like it shot a
beanbag or something.
Yeah, I think it was they call it a foam bullet, but it's they don't feel. I mean, it's a 40 millimeter projectile, but it says he'd been protesting for several hours when 50 police officers descended upon his group and began firing munitions at the crowd. Within minutes and without provocation, Officer Henry Felix shot Montemayor in the groin with a 40 millimeter projectile, causing such severe damage that it required a surgical procedure to reattach portions of his genitals.
No.
Yes. And he lost one of his testicles, an exploded testicle. I would have just said use the lethal bullet on me if you're going to do that.
Man, feels like they did.
$1.5 million. I don't know that that's enough. I don't feel like that's not enough financial restitution.
Well,
you feel like you'd be all right with that?
Well, I mean, probably not, but it does ease the pain.
They had to reattach your genitals.
Well, there is that. And it sounds like he is a young man.
Well, I mean, listen, if you're out protesting for hours, you're probably not 50. But I also think, this is like one of those things, the police misconduct, and you have to say, hey, you guys not only need to pay for my testicle, but you can't just, shoot my rights with a bullet in the sack, like you're a foam bullet even. So it's
how much? 1.6
1.5 million.
1.5.
That feel like it just feels
$3
like
million
to me.
for the set.
That's what they're saying. But I mean, again, pain and suffering.
No, that's not enough.
I don't think it's enough, man.
No.
And this isn't like, Sheboygan, Wisconsin. This is LA.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rodney King got more than that.
Well,
and I think Rodney King walked away with both testicles.
Well,
there's levels. You know what? I'm making a joke, but it's like at some point that these big municipalities have deep pockets.
Oh yeah. This was not a difficult number to come by,
and Mr. Montemayor is reaching in his pocket, and on one side there's nothing there to grab. That's got to be worth something. And plus, when I read the sentence, had to have surgery to reattach parts of his genitals. That's not even counting the exploded testicle. That's like, oh yeah, that's more than 1.5 million. Sorry. That's
depends on who's on the jury.
I think it's 5 million is the number. I think it's 5 million.
It's shot in the groin with a beanbag protesting.
Now, here's the question. When you go out and you protest, like, whatever the cause, I hope it's worth it.
Or
remember this. Cup. Remember this guy. Yeah, I'd wear a cup to any protest. You never know. Maybe safety goggles as well. Yeah.
So when did he get the money? So it's been 2 years.
He got it today. He got the money today
or
yesterday.
And this went down. This is the Jordan. So it's been several years. This has been percolating for a moment.
Yeah, it's been getting kicked around the.
Well, just goes to show, kids. I'm not sure what it shows, but lead with your groin and make $1.5 million.
It's not worth it.
No, that one's not. No, I think
anytime there's a headline that says protester whose testicle exploded, I like the headline. It's got to say there's got to be a 5 million there. It's got to be 5.
Well, if there's a bunch of women on the jury, you might not get it.
No, but here's the thing: he settled.
That's what I'm saying. He settled because they probably told him, "Look, we might stock this jury full of angry, recently separated women,
and I
who want to separate you from your testicles, whether you have them or not, and maybe you might not get anything."
And I think the key would be like when you get in front of those women, you say, "This was the most painful thing to happen to me. The only thing that I can imagine being more painful would be bearing a child, because I know what those women go through." And then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, did you hear what he said? You heard that? He gave us credit."
Well, it was those testicles that got him into that situation in the first place.
Yeah. And there's people asking would you take an uppercut from Mike Tyson for 5 million?
Yes.
Literally today.
No, I would be no.
I would fight Mike Tyson in a boxing ring today for $5 million. I would lose, but I would fight Mike Tyson in a boxing ring.
Do I have to go all 5 rounds, or how long do I have to last?
Until you fall asleep.
Until I start making woman noises?
Yeah, until you fall asleep. Yeah, that's a good deal. 5 million, I'd take that.
I'm in.
Jake Paul is going to get more than that, but I'm not Jake Paul. I don't have a big YouTube following. But yeah, 5 million will work for me. That'll get the job done. I'm in. All right. When we come back, I'm going to give you your first chance to register to win ACL wristbands. We did it last week. What was the gal's name? Maria, who won last week? I don't remember her last name. A lovely lady, I assume. Maria was the winner of the ACL wristbands. We're gonna do it all over again. And you know what? I'm gonna do some sports trivia this week. I saw Jason doing that, and I said, you know what? I'll do some sports trivia. We did a lot of music trivia last week. Sports trivia, because you guys like sports match games. Coming up, it is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, Scotty Scheffler in a wild weekend at the PGA Championship. We're going to continue to talk about that. Plus, the Eastern Conference Finals are set. We'll have the latest on the Western Conference playoffs. And Ryan Eagle returns. How did he play this weekend out at the golf course? We're talking about it on The Blitz, starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option. Using your own body body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May 31st. Flexible online and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SCHEV.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
Let's go!
Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Starting off another week here, 7:30 on a Monday. Hope this week doesn't suck for you guys.
That's the very least. We set our bar low.
On Monday, that's what you hope for, is that the week doesn't suck.
Just don't suck.
By Wednesday, I'll be like, I hope the week's going well for you. Monday, you just say, man, I just hope this week doesn't suck. San Antonio Sports Star is trying to make your week suck less. Got 3-day wristbands to ACL Music Festival Week 2. That's October 11th through 13th. Listen to the Morning Huddle, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, and the Blitz, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, and 5:30. You'll get qualified to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Week 2. We'll have one winner from each show at the end of the week. We had a winner last week on our show. I was here for the winner on the morning show and the afternoon show. I love making people winners. That's what I love. And
whose winner was better?
Ours was better. Yeah, the Morning Huddle winner was better. Maria was better. One winner from each show, like I said, will be chosen at the end of the week. And here's the deal. If you don't win them, you can always buy them at aclfest.com. 210-656-3776. I'm asking you this trivia question, and I think later on in the show, maybe we'll do one where I bring some callers on. We'll see, because now that it's sports trivia, I feel like maybe more people will know these answers, so I won't be like frustrated when people don't know the answers to my trivia questions. But the first one's off air. You're going to tell Edwin or Vic. I don't know who it's going to be. The Minnesota Timberwolves have a chance to have 2 number 1 overall draft picks on their roster if they were to win a championship. They would be the first team to do that since the 2019-20 Los Angeles Lakers, who had 3 number 1 overall draft picks on their roster. I want you to be the first person to name those 3 number 1 overall draft picks that won the bubble title for the Los Angeles Lakers. First one to do that. You are our first entrant, the first registered to win for this week on the ACL ticket. Simple as that. 656-3776. Alexandra knows what's up. Morning Huddle gives YouTubers a better chance to win. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do, girl.
That does.
See, one thing about the Morning Huddle, this is a show of the people for the people. I've noticed the afternoon show, The Blitz, I've noticed there's sort of an uppity air about them, like where, we'll show up sometimes, but we might be playing in a golf tournament, or we might be flying across the country to go watch a fancy concert. And if we can, we'll have time to do the show for the people. But mostly it's a lot of, it's a highfalutin show. The Morning Huddle of the people,
say? Okay.
Of the people, for the people.
We're not highfalutin? I feel as if we should be.
Well, listen, but
we're giving away this.
But what do? We prioritize the audience first. You know, but I mean, when I came here, Rob said, listen, no matter what changes, we've got to prioritize the audience.
The brigade bar. I'm not seeing an answer on the YouTube.
Well,
I'm surprised.
I am too, but maybe they're all trying to call in.
That third one was a difficult one.
Maybe they're all trying to call in. All right, let's get into the golfing. There was a championship played for this weekend, the PGA Championship, they call it, at Valhalla. First of all, let me say, I should say, first of all, congratulations to Xander Schauffele, who is the champion. He wins his first major championship. It's kind of been like, he was thought to be the best golfer with no major right now. And no longer is that the case. After his record tying round one, consistent throughout. What's crazy is as good as he was all week, he still only won the golf tournament by 1 stroke. He had to birdie 18th on Sunday to win this thing by 1 stroke. And he almost missed it. Like he had a lot of mustard on that bad boy, and it hit that left lip and rolled around the back and went in instead of out. So it worked out for him. But this was, I think, about worst case scenario. Not that Xander Schauffele won, but I think that Valhalla golf course, when you've got your, I'm guessing today's probably the day where the people who run the club and everybody says, okay, let's sit down and recap how this weekend went. I can't imagine it's a happy meeting where they're all high-fiving and saying, we killed it, boys.
What kind of golf do you like watching? Do you like watching scratch golf? You like watching 10 under like we saw yesterday? Guys hitting 4 feet from the pin, pulling the yo-yo, pulling it back in, birdie putts right and left, eagles. I turned it on. I saw a hole in one. I can't remember the last time I saw one live.
In a major.
Bam. I turned it on at the moment it happened. And there's some entertainment value to that. I don't want to discount everything that happened, but I do want to see him kind of work for it. I want to see him kind of earn it a little bit other than playing on what appeared to be a really good Muni.
So what I think about is like when the winner of the golf tournament is like 3 under for the weekend, 4 under for the weekend, I'm like, man, think about this course that they're playing, especially for a major championship. It feels like it should be on the most difficult course, because this just feels like, this could have been any old weekend golf tournament.
This is the PGA. This is the least of the four, right? This is
but it's still one of the four.
I guess so.
Right?
But
shouldn't the majors be like on the most difficult courses in the world?
It feels like the U.S. Open is always made ridiculously hard, like the kind of run that you talk about, like the rough, you can't see your ankles kind of stuff. It seems like the PGA is one, for the rest of us, a little bit easier. I'm not upset with it, but when you have to shoot literally the best round at Masters in major history to win by a stroke, that's too much.
That's what I'm thinking. Come on. It just feels like, I don't know. I saw someone say they killed the police department killed the hope of Scotty Scheffler to have like a grand slam, and because he shot a 73, and I was like, man, I wish I could shoot a 73 on the best day of my life, but 73 was like a bad round on this course. The idea that there's 62s getting shot, it's like maybe Rob Thompson could go out and shoot
maybe
a 95.
That's enough. It's because Sunday, I went back and forth, it was compelling in that I didn't see bad shots. I didn't see dudes hitting from behind the trees, hitting sideways. I saw dudes making golf shots. All day long, like bam, on the green, 4 feet out. And, maybe it lipped out the putt. But I saw golf shot after golf shot, which, it gets a little old, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
But to me, the course was too easy. It rained. Someone died.
Well, there was that.
The number one player in the world got arrested. I don't know that it could have gone worse for Valhalla Golf Club. You know what? I know how it could have gone worse. It could have been a 5-stroke lead for Schauffele on the last hole instead of like needing that birdie to win.
He could have run away with it on Sunday with that score.
So you're right. That on that note, DeChambeau actually making it close gave them something that they were probably not gonna have otherwise, which was an audience on the 18th hole. But it just feels like everything kind of went wrong. And I can't imagine that the PGA Tour is looking at Valhalla and going, yeah, we got to get back there ASAP. That thing went so well. And of course, speaking of the number one player in the world getting arrested, he's going to be arraigned today, though the expectation is charges are going to be dropped, even though he kind of admitted to guilt. I'm not sure why charges are being dropped, mostly because the police department's embarrassed, is my guess. But he is going to be arraigned. We'll see what happens. There is no body cam footage in a shocking development.
Dude. Well, that alone.
Yeah. In Louisville's not a small town. Again, if this were in middle of nowhere, West Virginia, you say, oh, they didn't have body cam footage. Okay, that makes sense. This tells me they do have body cam footage. They just don't want anybody to see it because it's probably even more embarrassing.
I get feeling Deputy Fife is not long for the force.
I would, but you said he's a Detective Fife. Detective Fife might not be.
Is he a detective?
Isn't that what you told me?
No, he's just. I said detective. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant he was.
You're working crowd control in the rain at the PGA
what I thought.
Friday morning, Thursday morning. You are
day one.
You are low man on the totem pole, baby.
That's what I thought. But
his uniform is new.
Do you think Scotty's going to end up having to pay that $80? I don't know. Maybe he gets out of it.
I think I would hope that he brings donuts to the arraignment because they ain't gonna be long.
No, I can't imagine.
The DA will kindly drop the charges and we'll all part as friends.
Yeah. But again, this is maybe the most amazing thing is everyone's like disappointed in the result for Scotty Scheffler, who shot 13 under on the weekend. I mean, it ended up being a pretty impressive, all things considered. It's just that's 8 strokes off the lead. I'm Listen, I always think the idea of greatness is fun. Like if someone could have had a grand slam, I would have loved to see it. I think that it's a little early to think that it could have happened here, but
when are we going to have a golfer hotter going into the PGA?
You're right. It's a rare thing, but I also don't know if that one round is enough to say, well, if he wouldn't have shot that 73, because if he shot his average, which was a 66, he's still coming up short. So, yeah, it's disappointing that it happened that way, but it's all like, had he had that bad round the day after he got out of jail, I would have felt like it was more correlated. But he shows up, gets out of jail, kills the course, shoots a 66, and I'm like, oh my God. And then shoots a 73 on Saturday, and then it's like, yeah, it finally hit me that I was in jail 2 nights ago. No, that's not how it works. It should have hit you on that day. So I didn't feel as bad for him, but
so now Xander is now no longer on the list of the best not to. Who's next? Who's the best not to win a major now? Is there
who is that?
Is there an American in there? Not that I care about nationalities. I'm just curious who's the next guy, because Xander's been that guy for what, 2 years?
He's been that guy for a little while. It's probably Patrick Cantlay.
Oh no. Are we down to that?
I don't know. Has Victor Hovland won yet?
I feel it. No, I don't think he's won a major.
It might be him. And he played pretty well. He's third this weekend.
So we don't got a next. So we're out of the greatest that need to win.
I'm using the Google machine. Give me a second.
I'm not the big golf guy, but it's always the next guy that's supposed to, and it's been Xander for so long.
Yeah, we've had an heir apparent for some time now. I'm guessing they'll probably make one of those lists sometime in the next few days.
I bet we see it today. But I don't feel like there's a guy floating around that we're like, here he is. We're just waiting on it, because Victor Hovland doesn't seem to move the needle for me.
This is from March 2024. Best golfers without a major championship. Xander Schauffele, number 1. Scratch him off the list now. Number 2, Patrick Cantlay.
There we go.
8-time PGA Tour winner, still has not had a major. Best major finish is a T3 at the PGA in 2019. 4 top 10 finishes. Victor Hovland, number 3. Well, I guess technically number 2 now. Let's see. 3 top 10 finishes in the last 5 majors.
There we go.
Consistently in the top 20. I think he might be the guy.
Yeah, he's probably trending up more than Cantlay. Cantlay's kind of trending down.
Tommy Fleetwood's name is on this list.
That's overdue. That's not going to happen.
Tony Finau.
There we go. Now Tony's one.
Another guy who's interesting.
Okay.
Joaquin Neiman, who's a live guy, but doing well over there. And Will Zalatoris also mentioned on this list.
Not enough there.
No, I don't think so either. But somebody's got to be the guy.
Right, I'm down with Tony Finau. He's my guy. I'm backing him till he gets it.
I'm going to go Victor Hovland. He's my guy.
So he's where's he from? He's not from around here, is he?
I don't judge guys on. He's from Norway.
He's one of Norland.
He's from Norway, which is up around Fredericksburg, I believe.
He's from way up there.
Yeah, it's north of Fredericksburg. So it's out of town. But yeah, I still feel a connection to Victor Hovland. You don't.
I if he stood beside me right now until he said something in Norwegian, I wouldn't know who he was.
Well, he speaks with a very heavy San Antonio accent.
He got a couple y'alls in that Norwegian.
Yeah.
Where's Tony Finau from? He's one of us, right?
I think he is. I don't know where Tony Finau's from actually, but I think he's an American. Tony Finau is.
He's American.
Yeah, he's American. Yeah, good. Maybe I like Tony Finau better. Maybe you're right.
From Salt Lake City. 6'4".
Yeah, he's
striking, man.
He's a big old fella. I usually don't like people from Utah, but I do like guys with beards. So maybe I'm with you on Tony Finau. That can be the show's guy.
That's it. We're gonna adopt Tony Finau.
All right, go Tony. Tony. 10 top 10 finishes in his first 20 major appearances.
Oh, I'm reading his bio. We have to choose him because his sibling, and I'm not sure if this is a male or female. It just says sibling name, Gipper, female.
Oh, well, he's got to win one for him eventually.
Maybe, or her. I guess that's him, right, Gipper?
Yeah. Oh, how about this? His first 10 majors. No, his first 20 majors, he had 10 top 10 finishes. And then he had a 10 major run where he didn't have a single top 10 finish.
Oh.
He's got to pick it up. He might he might not be trending up
as well. No.
Get it together.
We wanted somebody angling up.
Get it together, Tony. But we should mention that Bryson DeChambeau, like I said, had a hell of a last round to make it interesting. Shot a 64 on Sunday to get it, to make it where, you know, Schauffele had to birdie 18 to win the thing outright, and he'd been sitting in the clubhouse for a little while too. Victor Hovland finishes third. Thomas Dietrich and Colin Morikawa tie for fourth. Other notable names outside of Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, 12 under,
not bad,
respectable. Had you told me Rory McIlroy a couple days after he found out he was getting divorced was going to finish 12 under, right? Roy made a decision 6 on Thursday and was like, man, I'm in good shape. I know Xander shot a 62, but I'm right here in the mix. And he said, but if I win this thing, 3.3 million, that B is going to take half of it. He's like, I'm not winning this thing. He decided then and there, I'm gonna finish, you know, I'm gonna finish respectably a lot. So he made $360,000. You know, Uncle Sam's going to take what? He'll take half.
The rest go to the lawyers.
So she's going to make about 90 off this. And I think Rory's okay with that. He just didn't want her to walk away with $1 million. He didn't like the other one. If he'd won it, it would have been like $1 million for me, $1 million for Uncle Sam, $1 million for Becky or whoever the hell she is. That don't sit well with me.
Rory's going to be the bachelor on the prowl before long.
Oh, yes.
That happened.
He and Tiger at the 19th hole.
Oh, yeah. Got their Tommy Bahama half zip on, hanging out in the country club.
It's going to be Tiger, Rory, and John Daly at the 19th hole. And then John's going to make a joke about the 20th hole. Yeah. That's where I'm headed down to the 20th hole, if you know what I mean. And Tiger's going to know what he means, but I don't think Rory will because, you know.
Oh, he'll learn soon enough.
Yeah, he'll learn soon enough. He will learn soon enough. All right. Vincent Martinez. Congratulations, Vincento, who is our first register for these ACL tickets. We had some people on the brigade got it, but this was a call-in one. We'll do a brigade question later. Don't worry. I'd like to see more of you in there, though. If we're going to give away something there, I want to see a crowd. So if you ever watch on YouTube, you might want to get on there around 8:30. That's when we're 8:30. We're gonna hook it up for you guys.
The YouTube was late with Dwight Howard. I'll tell you, the phones were quicker with Dwight.
Oh, they beat him to it.
YouTube was slow in the uptake with Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Most people, LeBron and Anthony Davis was probably easy. Maybe have had to think about that third one. But yeah, Dwight Howard was also on that. What some people will call the Mickey Mouse Trophy. The bubble championship that the Lakers had, and the Timberwolves trying to be the first team since then with 2 number 1 overall picks. Are you aware that the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers, had 4 number 1 overall picks? Magic, James Worthy,
which was a manufactured kind of thing,
Kareem, and Michael Thompson, all won 2 championships together. 4 number 1 overall picks. That's pretty incredible.
And they only made one of them, or basically one of them.
They
traded for the Worthy pick. Kareem was picked by Milwaukee, and Michael was drafted by Portland. I believe.
Yes. But I thought you meant like made them. I was like, they made Worthy.
No, they made that. Did they make that pick, or was that pick made by somebody and they traded for it?
No, they made that pick. Yeah, they made that pick. They earned that pick. They traded before it became the number one pick.
I wasn't sure if somebody else picked Worthy or Jerry picked Worthy.
No, Jerry picked Worthy. Yeah, so it's a rare thing to have multiples on a team. Although I guess the Minnesota Timberwolves, this isn't the first time they've tried to make a run with them, because if you remember, they had Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and they traded for Derrick Rose and tried to make a run with him. Didn't work out. Kyrie and LeBron won in Cleveland, so that was one. The Sixers tried it a couple times with AI and Joe Smith, Derek Coleman. Didn't quite work out. Then Glenn Robinson joined in. That didn't work out either. So, but yeah, it's rare that it works out. But the Minnesota Timberwolves trying to make a little bit of history here. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, big boxing match over the weekend. We'll get into that a little bit. And our boy Adrian Yanez gets a nice win for the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have, because no exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan Sea Salt Body Wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Nigel, what are you doing with all this stuff in the break room? It looks like a farmer's market in here.
I'm changing my eating habits, embracing good quality nutrition with fresh produce.
Folks, maintaining a healthy AC system is just like maintaining a healthy diet. Let's make sure your system is clean and efficient. Nigel, that's a pretty impressive healthy salad you've assembled.
Thanks, Joel. Now step back. The grease is hot.
Grease?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
Pack the Dome this Saturday for Hats Off to Heroes as the San Antonio Brahmas play their final home game of the season against the Birmingham Stallions. The playoff push is on for the San Antonio Brahmas, and it's a yellow out to display our support for our troops. Wear yellow, help us support our troops, and be loud for the final home game of the season. It's the Brahmas against Birmingham Saturday afternoon at 2 in the Alamo Dome. Get your tickets now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the Just Capital seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 for ongoing commitment to their workers, with initiatives like Sharing Success, which awarded 97% of their teammates additional compensation, nearly all in stock. This is the program's 7th consecutive year, awarding more than $4.8 billion in total. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Dave Ramsey here for my friends over at Connecticut in San Antonio. Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy. So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it. It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association. The team at Connecticut San Antonio can test your water, install a system, and provide treatment, all without stepping a foot inside your home.
I'm Chris Canepa of Connecticut in San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try a Connecticut quality water softener for 90 days absolutely free. Call us at 650 656-PURE. That's 656-7873. Or visit us on ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace.
If you've put off replacing windows because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door.
Just text BUY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month.
Text BUY to 200-300 right now. Text the word BUY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text BUY to 200-300.
94.1 FM, San Antonio's Sports Center.
In the NBA, now there's just 4 as the Minnesota Timberwolves came back from 20 down to beat the Denver Nuggets last night, 98-90. The Indiana Pacers beat the hapless Knicks in the Garden, 130-109 in Game 7, setting an NBA playoff record. 67% from the field. Tyrese Halliburton had 26 in the win. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Time to turn my mic on. There we go. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. I wanted to, you know what? I need to get into this before we get into the fight recap. Scotty Scheffler was, he talked about the arrest on Friday.
Oh, he's got something to talk about at the club, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. So here's what he had to say. Again, to his credit, kind of like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, not making excuses.
It's hard to tell, you know. I think I would attribute it mostly to a bad day. I think when you come out here to compete, you're out here competing. You're doing what you can throughout the course of the round to post a score, and I wasn't able to get that done yesterday. Did I feel like myself? Absolutely not. Was my warm-up the way it usually is, and the distractions where they normally are? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to sit here and say that's why I went out and played a bad round of golf yesterday. You know, I got arrested Friday morning, and I showed up here and I played a good round of golf as well. And so I've gotten better throughout my career of leaving the off-course distractions at home and kind of keeping a pretty quiet personal life. And, you know, this week, obviously, that was not the case. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I played poorly yesterday because of what happened on Friday. You know, I just had a bad day out on the course, and, you know, was proud of how I came out here and bounced back today.
You know, you could use that as an excuse and everybody to go, yeah, I get it. I was a little shook by the guy that died and then me getting arrested. Kind of threw me off my game. I'll be real about it.
I think he might be, like the way he said it, yeah, I got arrested on Friday and I came out and played. I think he's trying to get some street cred with this.
I respect given, man. To throw off my game, and I suck.
If you got arrested, it would be, you'd think you'd have a bad round?
I think I'd be a little jumpy, yeah. I think, especially considering the cop that I dragged was in the hospital. Yeah, I think I'd be a little off.
Think about that. I don't know if you would have done this, Rob. If you would have gotten arrested on your way to the golf course and you got out and you were still in time to make your tee time, but you'd been arrested, would you, because, I mean, listen, you're from a family of lawyers. Would you still go make your tee time, or would you be like, you know what, I got to go home and reassess?
Oh, no. Well, given the kind of tournament that I'd be participating in, I would expect that there'd be lots of free alcohol and Uber. So, no, I'm making tea time.
Okay, good call. They asked him to put into words how the week ended up feeling for Scotty.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure. I think hectic would probably be a good description. Overall, right now, how I'm feeling, I'm fairly tired. Definitely a lot more tired than I have been finishing some other tournaments. I'm proud of today, how we went out there and fought. I got off to kind of a slow start and was able to kind of get some momentum and post a good round and give myself some good momentum. Yesterday obviously was quite frustrating and a bit of a different day, but overall proud of how I fought this week. Was fortunate to be out here competing, doing what I love. And, out on the golf course, the support this week that I got from the fans was tremendous. The support I got from the players and caddies and everybody inside the ropes was tremendous. And so I'm very grateful to have the community that we have out here on the road and to have their support.
You mean all the support that you get after you assault a police officer?
Yeah, this guy's a thug. He's a gangster. I don't know. I'm not cheering for Scotty Scheffler anymore. I didn't hear any remorse in those statements either.
You better write a nice fat check to the FOP house.
It was
somewhere.
hectic, but have we heard him apologize for his behavior?
I had never heard I'm sorry. I heard I was confused, but I never heard I'm sorry.
Yeah. Do you think he apologized to the officer he assaulted?
I would like to think there'd been a nice check written to the Fraternal Order of Police and maybe a little bit to the grandmothers of the Police Fraternal Society's retirement club. I'd like to think there's a little help coming from
maybe he should pay for the funeral of the guy whose honor he disrespected by driving around the procession.
Who was that? Do we know?
Tom.
Have we been told?
Yeah.
Does it matter?
It's Tom from Louisville.
It's unfortunate.
Tom Williamson. All right. There was a big fight this weekend. And it's funny because it's wild to think there's been more buildup for Jake Paul against Mike Tyson than there was for basically the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. There has not been an undisputed heavyweight champion since 1999 when Lennox Lewis beat Evander Holyfield. 25 years after that, we have another undisputed heavyweight champion. Alexander Usyk beat Tyson Fury in a split decision in Kingdom Arena in Saudi Arabia. For us, it was on Saturday. I guess there it was Sunday morning. 114, 113, 115, 112, and 113, 114. One judge did have it for Fury. The first loss of Fury's career.
Mm-hmm.
And Usyk had WBA, WBO, and IBF titles. WBC, which is usually regarded as the belt, it was the one that Fury had. And Usyk is the first guy in the 4-belt era to hold all 4. He's also the first lineal. He became the lineal heavyweight champion, which is something that Fury has been since 2015 when Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko. They are going to have a rematch. Fury feels like he won the fight. Of course, that's a split decision. Everybody feels like they won the fight.
He got knocked down late.
He got knocked down in the 9th. Did not hit the mat. Fell into the ropes and would have fallen 100%. And quite honestly, the ref would have been justified stopping the fight then. But it was also like 5, 6, 7, those rounds. It felt like Fury was just rolling downhill on this dude, and he was beating up his body, just punishing him. And Usyk looked like he was fading. He had a big cut over his eye. Yep. He ended up needing a bunch of stitches. But I thought Usyk was going to end up going down, and just a massive comeback in round 9. And think about this: if he doesn't get that knockdown and obviously make that a 10-8 round, based on the scorecards, this would have been a draw. And so in a way, I'm glad there was a knockdown. Even though I'm a Tyson Fury fan, I enjoy Tyson Fury. I like his personality. I think so often that obviously Mike Tyson his style of fighting was so fun that he was easy to like. But I think just his character was good. Hearing him talk made you interested in him. it's been a long time since there was like we went through the Klitschko brother phase and the Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield phase. It's been a bunch of boring heavyweight champions. And finally, we've got this guy, the Gypsy King, who is like an actual character, and he's fun. And you either like him or you don't, but he makes you feel a certain way. I'm into that. Usyk also feels very boring to me.
He is.
But I think I'm glad that there was a decision. And I knew when the knockdown happened that it wasn't going to be an even score unless there was another knockdown. I was hoping it would go to Fury, but I'm just glad that we didn't get a draw. But there's an automatic rematch clause set for October. I want to say October 12th
in Wembley.
I don't know that there's a place written down for it, but October 12th is the date for the rematch. Could have easily, like I said, finished the fight in round 9, but it did get a knockdown, and that was the difference. And we saw Fury won round 12 on every card. So the fact that he won round 12 on every card and still came up short, the damage was done. So it was a fun fight. It was a good fight. It wasn't pretty. Make no mistake, Ali wasn't in there. It was two big ass bruisers. But it was an entertaining fight and something that you don't always get in these boxing matches. So I was glad. Remember, this fight was supposed to happen back in February, and Tyson Fury got cut. Had to have 11 stitches over his right eye 2 weeks before the fight. But this lived up to the hype, in my opinion. So again, rematch in October, and then supposedly Tyson Fury's got a match coming with Anthony Joshua shortly after that.
With the headgear, we're going to be wearing helmets.
No, not these guys.
Like pre-fight costume.
Oh, I would hope so. I would hope you don't get these silly cuts before these big fights. But sometimes you got to spar. You got to get hit in the face to spar. Right before my very first fight ever, one of my last hard sparring sessions, my coach went harder on me than he'd ever gone, and I had a nasty black eye, and I was like, oh my God, don't let me have to pull out of this fight. So I fought my first fight with a black eye. That was I went into the cage with a black, beat up already. But that's part of the game. You got to practice getting beat up so you don't get beat up when there's dollars on the line. So these guys, I imagine they're going to stay the course. And like I said, Fury thought he won the fight. He said that, well, this guy's from a war-torn country, so they're going to give it to the guy whose country's at war. I don't know. It was that. I think Usyk. I thought it was a legit win. So it was it was. I think there's some people who thought there was controversy. I don't think there was. I thought Usyk was the better fighter. But again, there were moments where I thought this was going to be over. Fury was beating up his body. I said, this fight's going to end. He just can't get back in it until that 9th round. And it was like, oh boy, it ain't over, baby. So very fun night of fights. Our boy, Adrian Yanez, later on that day, got himself a first-round knockout. So thanks to him for joining the show. That puts us at 1-0, Rob, on our show. Guys do our show. They get knockouts. First-round knockout for Adrian. And honestly, boy, the referee let that dude take a hell of a beating after he got knocked down. He wanted him to knock him out 3 times. But Adrian does get the job done. And Lerone Murphy, in the main event, stays undefeated as he beats Edson Barboza in the main event there. So that's a recap of the week in organized violence. And Goldfinger says, my first and only fight, my MMA, only one pro fight. I had 5 amateur fights. So this was before my first amateur fight that I got beat up really bad by my own people. But yeah, it's just a part of the game. You're going to get hurt in sparring because if you don't spar, it's hard to win. I really believe that if you don't have practice fighting, you're not gonna get the job done when it's time to get in there and hurt somebody. All right, on the other side, I want to talk some more sports, but I do have this liver transplant story that I want to get to. I don't know. We're going to play it by ear if we're going to go sports or why this young lady didn't get a liver transplant. I'll hit you with a surprise. Maybe we'll do a mix and match segment on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on the Blitz, Scotty Scheffler in a wild weekend at the PGA Championship. We're going to continue to talk about that. Plus, the Eastern Conference Finals are set. We'll have the latest on the Western Conference playoffs. And Ryan Eagle returns. How did he play this weekend out at the golf course? We're talking about it on the Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time at GiveMeTheVin.com. I'm overpaying for cars because I think they're going to go up even higher from where they are right now. We'll pay off your payoff. We'll pick your stuff up. We'll quote you quick and easy at GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best car buyer. Go there right now, and if I don't beat a CarMax offer, I'll send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Are your windows struggling to keep up with the game? It's time to upgrade with Maverick Windows. Stay ahead of the competition with energy-efficient windows. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 to get a free quote.
If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick of entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Some discussion in the chat, Rob. Some back and forth. Someone said, did you guys see the Stars game this weekend? Stars, by the way, clinched their way into the Western Conference Finals, where they'll face the winner of Vancouver and Edmonton. Game 7 tonight. We got a Stanley Cup playoffs Game 7. That's always a good thing. And people said, no, we don't support Dallas things here. But are the Cowboys just the exception to the rule? Like, we won't support Dallas things except for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, I mean, you have to choose your baseball.
Okay. But you're not judged either way if you choose.
Well, used to, you could have both because American and National. Now you can't do that anymore. So you do kind of got to pick one. But the Cowboys, yeah, that's all of ours. They just they're not even. I mean, they play in Arlington, so they're not even really Dallas's team. I mean, so we all view it that way. Houston, it's pretty much Texans. That's all. That's just theirs.
They can have it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, despite best efforts, they just haven't really grown into the Cowboy fandom. At least not yet. But give them a year.
It's hard to break into that sometime.
Well, they've had every opportunity. I think this will be the chance. I think they're going to steal some fans this year.
All right. We've got a story of a young lady who is dying. She's 36 years old, and she was going to get a liver transplant, a partial liver transplant that her own partner had offered her. She's been on life support for 3 months awaiting the organ, but then she was denied the transplants after medics found that she had relapsed before being admitted to the hospital.
I've heard of this before.
And now her partner said, nope, I'm not doing it. And she said that she agreed to enter into an addiction program once she got the new liver, but old gal said, nope, you're on the waiting list. Not going to give it to you. And she said now they're trying to get her to Europe, where she can maybe get another one for like $300K, but said that no. And now it's like, is this an ethical move? Is it? You say you're going to do it? Like you agree with this?
I do.
I think it's tough. But yeah, apparently she just won't stop drinking. So she had still been this is now, it's not him who said that she can't have the liver anymore. It's the doctors. They found her drinking and they said, no, even you're not allowed to take his liver. But he's like, yeah, I want to give her my liver. They're like, no,
I wouldn't perform the procedure. I mean, you can't drink with the new liver. What's the point?
She began drinking as a teenager and just never stopped. Around 600 people are currently awaiting a liver transplant for a variety of reasons. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel. Like, it feels like if someone's partner is willing to give it to them, I mean, would they turn her away if she didn't exercise?
If part of the prereqs for getting it, and there's, like you said, 600 people waiting.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, for you to get this, you're going to have to work out as long as you physically can to get this. The moment you don't, there's 599 other people that are also working out and doing everything that they can. You earn this right. It is not a right just because you're dying to get this. Other people, you have to do some things. I'm completely for this.
Okay.
Now it
You're
is
completely
interesting
for letting her die.
Well, she made her decisions, but it is interesting that the guy that's willing to give it can't give it.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean?
Like,
so it's the $300K. What they're doing is they would fly to Europe and they just pay the doctors to do it. They wouldn't have to find another one.
yeah, but it looks like I think they live in Canada. Is where they're at, and that's where the decision's been made. That,
well, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
it's going to have to go to someone else.
Sorry, some other hoser is going to get that liver, is what it looks like. But I would say life goes on, but I don't.
Well,
I'm not so sure.
I hope it was a good drink too. I hope it was worth that. I hope it wasn't just fortified beer on the corner.
Weird. But I don't know. I make jokes, but it's like she's clearly got an addiction issue. The problem is, like, do we think the addiction issue is fixed because she's got a new liver?
No, that's my concern.
Probably not. Probably not. I did mention that there is a game 7 tonight in the NHL. It is the only one. We will mention this only very, very briefly, that the Final Four will be set in hockey tonight with the Dallas Stars. They got the win. They are in the Western Conference Finals. Some would call it an upset even over the Avalanche, although the Avalanche had a lot of things go wrong for
all of Denver did.
Yeah,
couple of days.
A lot of things went wrong for the Avalanche. But in the East, the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers will face off for the right to lift Lord Stanley's Cup. If they can get through the Eastern Conference Finals and face the winner of the Stars and then the Canucks Oilers, the Canadian championship being played tonight. As I always say, you don't have to worry. A Canadian team's not going to win the Stanley Cup. I don't remember the last time it happened, but it just doesn't seem to happen. We'll find out tonight who the last Canadian team stand. Canadians, I think is the way they say it, versus the Oilers. I don't want to be disrespectful to the nation of Canada. I just talked about one of their people likely dying and now said their hockey team has no chance. So
socialized medicine, man. Let's blame that.
Damn Canucks. Not the hockey team, but just the whole lot of them. The whole lot of them.
Take off.
We are planning on getting into more of the NBA stuff in the next segment. We've got some more to talk in. We're going to play some sound. But the Jalen Brunson injury, I mean, in a way, it's almost nice that he got hurt in this game and there's no next week to prepare for. They're out, so it's no big deal. But are your thoughts that an injury to a guy like this in a game like this can change the way you look at an offseason, or is this just a blip in the radar? It's just one more thing that piled on to what they have.
No, I wouldn't change a thing. I think the Knicks knew that there were some things that needed to be done in the offseason, but that injury alone, Knicks should be extraordinarily happy from where they are. And knowing this was a bit of a shock, they now know they have a superstar. They have the Nova 3 and know that if Anunoby was capable, we'd get a little bit more. If they had maybe Mitchell Robinson, if they had Julius Randle, I mean, there were so many ways and reasons why they shouldn't have even been where they were. Of all the teams that look like they're going to have the most difficult time coming back to this, on the other side of this, I think they're along with Oklahoma City, they have every reason to think their future can be brighter. If they do absolutely nothing next year, they're going to be more talented just by the guys that are going to come off the IR.
So was this season a success for the New York Knicks?
Absolutely. A resounding success. They know they have a head coach. They know they have a superstar. They know they have a bench and a couple of guys, and they have gone through the wars minus two of their primary pieces in their big and their power forward. I think you walk away going, we got some work to do. I mean, we're still not the best by far, but I think they know they've got a team. And I don't think even 6 weeks ago we would have looked at the Knicks and said, this is a team that they're ready to charge forward with. We knew Brunson was working well. No, I think every Knicks fan, once they get over the fact that they got pantsed and did it because they were just outgunned, I think they'll realize this is a team that has some work to do, but my goodness, everybody should walk away happy with what they got.
The media asked him if this season was a success, and he said no. And they asked him why. He said, did we win the championship? Did we even get close? No. So that's my mindset. That's just how it is. So, I mean, I don't know.
It.
You like that?
Well, yeah, players supposed to say that, but the GM better be smoking a cigar. Like, man, what a year.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't think anybody saw if you told the Knicks that they were one game away, you'd be one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals at the start of this year. I mean, they would have sold their souls
and
for
you'll
that.
do it without Julius Randle, who was, if not their odds-on best guy on their team when the season started, certainly their second best. And they did it without Mitchell Robinson, their starting post all year long. They won 2 series. They have a guy that's capable of going and get 40 and 10 every night. And they found a kinship in these Villanova 3 that I do believe is the beginnings of some sort of Miami Heat-esque kind of, I don't know, culture that I see the Knicks building because of what Thibodeau's putting together. So, yeah, good things coming, but they got work to do.
Well, Josh Hart's the new power forward. He has to be. He's their 4 now, even though he's 6'4".
Yeah, he's tough.
But he's their dude there now. All right, we're gonna hit a break. When we come back, register you win for more ACL tickets. We'll actually do that on the brigade board. So if you want to have a chance to win this one, hop on the YouTube stream. And we'll get into some sound from Anthony Edwards and Nikola Jokic, hear what they had to say after the Timberwolves send the Nuggets fishing. We'll do that coming up on the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
Nigel, what are you doing with all this stuff in the break room? It looks like a farmer's market in here.
I'm changing my eating habits, embracing good quality nutrition with fresh produce.
Folks, maintaining a healthy AC system is just like maintaining a healthy diet. Let's make sure your system is clean and efficient. Nigel, that's a pretty impressive healthy salad you've assembled.
Thanks, Joel. Now step back. The grease is hot.
Grease?
Quarter Moon Plumbing. 0651-5899. License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Pack the Dome this Saturday for Hats Off to Heroes as the San Antonio Brahmas play their final home game of the season against the Birmingham Stallions. The playoff push is on for the San Antonio Brahmas, and it's a yellow out to display our support for our troops. Wear yellow, help us support our troops, and be loud for the final home game of the season. It's the Brahmas against Birmingham Saturday afternoon at 2 in the Alamo Dome. Get your tickets now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or being threatened by the IRS that your wages are about to be garnished or bank accounts are going to be levied? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has professionals ready to fight for you. Their enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs have saved millions of dollars for taxpayers just like you. They won't just resolve your tax problems. They'll most importantly protect your wages, bank accounts, and all your assets from being taken by the IRS. Call for a free consultation. 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174 or go to alliestaxrelief.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Morning Huddle. He's AJ. I'm Rob. How's your Sprots and music trivia? You ready? We got tickets to give away. Well, we got wristbands, ACL. Coming in October, we got weekend 2. Aggie fan, don't worry, you're off that weekend. Play along. Win yourself some wristbands. Go see Sturgill.
That's you. If you could see anybody there, that's who you'd be looking to see,
now,
right?
I like Stapleton, but Sturgill Simpson is a dude I have not seen live yet, and I'd like to.
And Krongbin.
Krongbin. They're Philippine.
No, Thai.
Thai,
Thai
street music.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm down.
I don't know. I've got no idea. I've got no idea if that's they don't even use words.
They don't. But K-pop's the thing. So if we're down to
who's your favorite K-pop group?
Oh, who's the Gangnam Style dude? Whoever that guy is. I don't know what he is.
Psy.
Whatever.
His name's Psy.
That guy.
Yeah, I remember that guy. All right, let's do this. The Brigade Board is about to win one.
All right.
Here's what I want to know. We mentioned that there's a new champ in town. There is a new heavyweight boxing champion of the world. His name is Alexander Usyk. And we also mentioned that Tyson Fury has been for a long time has been the lineal champion.
Define what that is. The lineal champ.
It's kind of a hard thing to explain. I don't
beat the dude that beat the dude.
I think I'm not exactly sure how they describe it. It's changed actually over time. I don't know, to be quite honest. I don't know what the exact terminology is.
I remember when I heard that for the very first time, when Fury was named the lineal champion, I just always kind of assumed that it wasn't about the belts. It was about who beat who beat who, and you beat that guy who beat that guy who beat that guy. But that can't be the case.
I don't think that is the case. But here's the deal. When Tyson Fury won that title, like when he won the IBF and the IBO championships, he won that belt from Usyk's countryman, as we mentioned, Vladimir Klitschko. Klitschko had one more fight after that Tyson Fury fight. He lost that fight, and he retired. I want to know who beat Vladimir Klitschko in his last fight before retirement. This happened in 2017. Simple as that. You get that answer, Google it the fastest. You are registered to win, friends. ACL tickets, just like that. And this is only for the Brigade Board. So get it in. First one in. Whoever it looks like we got one.
Just like that.
Just like that. Mike Knotts is our winner. So you can stop now.
Well done.
It's all done. We got a winner. Boy, that was fast. But there's one for the chalk one up for the brigade, boys. Just like that. And I shouldn't say boys, since we had a lady winner last week.
And by the way, quit your bitching. Yes, you guys win. Didn't we have bitching earlier? Hey, it's all set up. For the YouTube, for the brigade bar.
Oh, who's bitching about it?
I think the phone types were upset that the brigade bar had set up for it.
Everybody's got equal opportunity. The people on the phone, all they got to do is log on to YouTube.
You've got a device. It ain't
It's
that
simple.
hard.
San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. It'd help if you subscribed. It'd help if you hit that thumbs up. But I'm just saying, it's available to everybody. We're not charging for YouTube. It's free to listen on the YouTube. You could do it. There's no excuses. All right. I told you I'd play some sound, and we talked about Jokic after the game 6. I don't know if loss is even a harsh enough word for what happened to the Nuggets in game 6, but he said this was a great loss. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He was happy. He's like, he thought it maybe kind of woke up the Giant. But a different tone about game 7.
I think the team who wins is better team. So you have a 7 game, so over a best of 7. So if someone beats you, I think they're the better team. Congrats to them. And like we did we have a chances? Of course we did, but when someone beats you, I mean, they're just better.
Boy, you don't hear that very often, do you?
Man.
Jokic is kind of it is kind of a ray of sunshine to hear the honesty from that dude.
He don't care.
He's going home.
Care. I'm going home. I got horses to feed.
Yeah, going home to pet his horses. They asked him about repeating as champions and what it would have, what it felt like trying to do that.
I mean, I don't know. We didn't accomplish that, so I mean, I don't know. It's hard because the teams are more hungrier, better, talented than last year. Probably everybody get better. Everybody wants to beat us. Probably that's my thought process. Probably
he says that, and in a way, he's kind of right, because one of the things that the Nuggets were talking about was we lost to a team that was literally built to beat us. They built this roster to beat us, and I don't know that I disagree with that. I mean, now that's what Michael Malone's saying, and again, the Nuggets won. The Nuggets weren't some sort of dynasty. They won last year. They've been pretty good for a couple of years before.
Well, they did. We talk about with Minnesota, and we talked about it with the Celtics about, there are steps that you have to go through. And the last step of the Nuggets is learning how to defend the title. I mean, they learned how to win it. But you heard Yoke say it, man. We were the target, being hungry all the night, being hungry for the title. We've already gotten it. We have to be prepared for being the guy with the target on the back. And they obviously weren't. They had a good year, but hard lesson learned. I don't hold any ill will toward Denver. Of all the teams that shouldn't do anything, I think they shouldn't do a damn thing. Roll this thing back. Find a little bit of help on the sides. But Yoke is right, man. The season's done. We weren't hungry enough. We're going to come back and get it. But I'm not mad at them. They lost to a team, like you just said, that was built to beat them.
Jokic said, I think they're built to beat us. Just look at their roster. Mm-hmm. They have basically 2 all-stars, 2 probably first-team defensive players. Mike Conley's the most underrated in the NBA, or underrated player in the NBA probably. From the bench, they have a 6th man of the year. They are the one team that can literally do everything. They can be big, small, and then when they asked the guy that runs Connolly, the guy that runs the basketball operations, they asked him about Tim Connolly. They asked him about the game and what is the blueprint to eliminating the champs, and he said it's called luck. He said we just got lucky.
That and 21 feet of big,
that helps. But Tim Connolly's a guy who could be beating his chest right now saying I designed it this way, but he took the humble route. So yeah, and Jokic and Malone both said the same thing. You basically have to be perfect to win the championship, and that's any given year. And doing it back-to-back years is it's very difficult. And Malone said the better team won, so I'm taking nothing away from Minnesota. He said, I think the guys are just gassed. They're dead tired. And, it's
we talked about shaking off a 45-point beating. You'd like to think you pulled up the stakes and you called, waved the white flag, and whatever happened after that doesn't matter. It did matter. Even though, they said it didn't, and there were, the plan was to come back and fire up. You just don't lose like that. Even though you had a nice 20-point lead, that team beat you by 45 the last time you were out, and they know how to do it again. And they just flipped the switch. They literally flipped the switch and put you to sleep.
And then here's what Jamal Murray had to say after the loss.
I'll say just mentally and physically, conjuring up the energy to fight like you're being hunted. I think that's the emotion. I think when you're the hunter, you have so much more motivation, and you grasp onto anything to prove everybody wrong, and you have a constant chip on your shoulder. I think, as the winner, having had won, I think, I don't know. I feel like we should have won tonight. That's the tough part. They beat us, but we have so many great opportunities, including myself. So it's just tough, man. I'm just excited for next year.
I don't know why. I just don't like Jamal Murray. There's something about him that rubs me the wrong way. And I do like Jokic. Like I find myself wanting to cheer for him, but Jamal Murray, I just can't get there.
Does it bother you that you're hearing, if you were a Nugget fan, the way that they acted, they sounded relieved. Jokic sounded relieved. Murray even sounded relieved. Like, man, the get back and the target and, the nightly and all the stuff that they were saying just sounded like this was a team that was hoping if everything went well, they'd win it, but really was done.
Well, Murray had something to say about how he felt now that the season's actually over.
How hard is it just to absorb a loss like this after going ahead by 20?
Next question, man. The season's over. That's what's hard. Being up 20. The season's over. You don't understand that. The season's over. It's hard.
Sorry, that was Mike Malone, not Jamal Murray. But for him, maybe he's the one guy who doesn't. He wanted to keep going. Like
even he sounded tired. I mean, they just sounded like this was above and beyond anything that they were prepared for, that everything they thought it was going to be, it was times X harder. Everything, the road, the home, the defense, the get through, the defending champion going in night after night after night in front of sold out places, playing against the NBA champ. And, you're 90 games into this thing and they were done, cooked, out of gas.
I wonder what the parlay would have paid had you live bet the Pacers at halftime when they were getting their ass kicked on the road, and then parlayed that with the Timberwolves at halftime getting their ass kicked on the road.
Okay, of the two, did you think either had a prayer? I mean, I didn't eat both games. I was flabbergasted. I mean, the Knicks, you shouldn't be.
I wasn't as shocked by the Knicks. I mean, I was more shocked by Minnesota coming back, and here's why. I mean, we've talked a lot about the Knicks and how banged up they are. And I thought, okay, maybe they'll run out of steam in the second half, and also the Pacers offense at any given time can just light on fire. But I was going back to the Mavericks is who I was thinking it had the double-digit halftime deficit. But the Nuggets, the thing that surprised me so much about the Wolves coming back was there's something about a championship team being able to hold the lead. And you think that a championship team, the Nuggets being that championship team, you give them a 20-point lead. Like if you gave Jordan a 20-point lead at halftime, it was over. That was it. You gave Kobe a 20-point halftime lead in a game 7. Like there was no question who was going to win that game. This was odd. And especially because Jokic is now mentioned in that conversation amongst the all-time greats. Now he has 3 MVP awards, and rightfully so. But man, that is a surprise to see a defending NBA champion at home in Game 7 absolutely collapse?
It's been, 6 consecutive years? We had 6 or 7 consecutive years where the NBA champ is out in the second round.
That's wild. And you know what? You know what else was surprising to me? Late down the stretch, if you were just listening to the broadcast, and usually when you listen, if you're just listening, you can hear the crowd go wild when something good happens for the home team. Boy, there was a lot of Minnesota support in that building, considering that was the defending champions' home floor. There was a lot of Timberwolves support in that spot.
I think Dallas dealt with the same thing with Oklahoma City coming in.
But there it almost makes sense. It's a short drive. It's not crazy.
The idea that T-Wolf fan was able to wrest the ticket away from the defending champs. And I know the Denver fans got divided allegiance. If you're an Avs fan, you were probably kind of busy over the last couple of days, but that was shameful.
Yeah.
And Philly went through it. I guess the ready access of tickets and the idea that you can fly in and catch any game. Cowboy fan has been kind of used to that whenever, you play a team you hadn't seen in a minute, like the Bears, they'll come in and buy all your tickets, and that's enough to pay for the rest of the season ticket. And Cowboy fan just kind of laughs it off. Well, I'll sell that one ticket to the Bear fan to come down to Dallas, and I'll pay for my whole season. Now it seems to be much more commonplace, man. You no longer have that sacred home court advantage or home field advantage like you used to.
You can say, we'll sell off the Bears ticket. You wouldn't sell off the divisional round.
You'd like to
ticket,
think. I mean, how on earth did they get a hold of those tickets? Somebody sold it to them.
Game 7. I mean, the fact that built, I'm not going to say it was filled with Minnesota fans. There was a much, much more, I would say at least a louder crowd than there should have been.
The Garden was just quiet. There were no Pacers fan in the
because I don't think they were allowed.
They weren't going to be allowed because they had to get out of the building a lot. It was a very different vibe in New York just because it was silence, and that was enough to throw a wet blanket on everything. On the other side, listening to your home crowd cheer for the other team, yikes, or at least like people in your stadium cheering for the other team.
They're about to send you packing.
In Game 7.
They're going to end your season, and they're still cheering. I mean, that was shocking to me.
Everybody just tired. Nugget fan, Nugget player, Nugget coach, just tired.
That's why, when you hear when LeBron James talks about, I played, and Steph Curry when it got with the Warriors, when it got to be like, you play in the finals every year, it's almost like playing another season at some point. It adds up enough where you've played almost a full other season. I imagine the Spurs were dealing with.
We did the math one year, AJ, and between Manu and Tony Parker and Tim, we figured, I believe it was after every 3 seasons they had played another fourth. Once you played in all the preseason, all of the Olympic qualifying, all those other things that they did over time, which also involved every other year with FIBA international ball.
It's tough.
The tread on your tire just gets thinner. It does shorten your players'
and
career.
Especially these international guys,
there's pressure. They got to play.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of Americans who, if an American decides he doesn't want to play for the Olympic team, no one gets mad at him. It's just kind of understood. Like, I remember Yao, and Yao could barely survive an 82-game season in the NBA, but as soon as he was done, he had to go to China. He had stuff he had to do in China. It wasn't like he didn't get an off season. It was on the grind immediately over there. And, your body's only built to take so much. And I think that's it. You see that with all these teams now. I think it's going to be harder and harder to repeat going forward just because the grind, and especially if you're built around a big guy.
Follow Luka. He's still playing, and he has Olympic aspirations too.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt. Well, I think all these superstars that are left have Olympic aspirations, but there's only one of them left that is the hope for their team. If Luka doesn't play, that's the end of that. But if Jason Tatum announces he's not playing for Team USA, it's like, oh, okay.
Then we'll
survive.
We'll get by without you.
But yeah, it is. There's a lot of pressure for these international players to get that job done. All right. We've got 2 qualifiers now. I think we've got the NBA covered. Although I do still want to get into, I'm going to ask you, I guess no. You know, we'll save that prediction for tomorrow. I was going to ask you about the Pacers Knicks. You think it's going to be a short series, but I have a little bit of a feel that they can compete. That they'll, if they don't win a game or two, they're gonna, all these games I feel like might be close. So, but we'll get to that a little bit. I've also got a story that kind of blew my mind about a secret life, and I want to know what you do in this situation. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasik.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have calm.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Feel that heat? That's how it should feel when you're outdoors watching your favorite team coming up to bat, not in your home. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 and get a free quote for new energy-efficient windows.
Save big this Memorial Day at Lowe's. Right now, save on 1.5-gallon annual hanging baskets. Get 2 for just $16. Plus, buy one, get one 50% off. Select interior and exterior paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop these deals before they're gone because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 5/29. Hanging baskets in-store only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Paint. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. While supplies last.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NBA, now there's just 4 as the Minnesota Timberwolves came back from 20 down to beat the Denver Nuggets last night, 98-90. The Indiana Pacers beat the hapless Knicks in the Garden, 130-109 in Game 7, setting an NBA playoff record for shooting at 67% from the field. Tyrese Halliburton had 26 in the win. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4, baby. Let's go. The Morning Huddle. Coming live into your ear holes on a Monday morning. Happy to be here, even though it is a Monday. I'll be happier on Thursday, I think. But Monday, it's we're alive and we're here, Rob. Things could be worse.
We just hope your week doesn't suck, right?
That's it. On Monday, we just hope that you're driving into work and your week ends up not being awful. Here's a girl who had a pretty bad week. This gal, Caitlin Palmieri, who sounds like she'd be like Meadow Soprano's best friend or something. Like that name sounds like a Soprano's name. Caitlin Palmieri. She met a fella on a dating app in 2018. His name was Eric. And she was in love with this fella, Eric. But she said, I had to tell him something. That 3 years earlier, she'd been in love with a fella named Mike. And on her 30th birthday, we were all having a good time, and something terrible happened. Mike died. He slipped into the water, wasn't breathing, they tried CPR, he just died. No one knows how he got hurt. He broke some bones in his back, had a brain injury, but no one knows how it happened. So just a terrible thing. They took him off life support, and this fella that she loved was dead. And she eventually felt like I had to tell Eric about it. We had to have everything based on honesty. And you know what Eric did? He made her feel great. He said, you know what, honey? No big deal. I get it. You found love and it's a tragedy. And he said, you know what? I'm going to love you better even. 5 months later, they moved in together. And then a little later, he proposed. They're getting married. This is a big deal. Good old Eric has worked his way into this thing. They were getting married in August of 2020. And the night before the wedding, Eric made a speech about how much he loved her. They kissed goodnight. She went to her hotel room, and Eric went on to stay with his brother because, you can't stay with the bride the night before the wedding. That would be unlucky. Well, as luck would have it, Eric died that night before the wedding. Just croaked, heart attack. A postmortem found that he had died of a heart attack at 33 because of a condition that no one knew about. So Caitlin is just distraught now. She's had 2 potential husbands die very early in their relationships or right before they, tied the knot even. She says, I learned to manage my grief. My unworn wedding dress still hung in the wardrobe, but I wore my ring on special occasions. It felt as if I was honoring Eric. Well, on Eric's birthday this last year, This gal was scrolling through Instagram and she saw a post that was commemorating someone who died. It was Eric. His name was Eric. He had the same last name as her, Eric. And it was the same birthday. Like, what a coincidence that both of our loves named Eric blank, born on this day, died. What a terrible thing. Turns out it was the same guy. Eric had a secret life and was engaged to 2 women. They were still seeing each other all the way up until the day before the wedding. There was no, it didn't seem like there was any sort of out clause for Eric, how he was going to get out of this first relationship. I think he was just going to marry this gal.
No, he was going to die. That's what he was going to do.
Maybe he knew. Can you imagine?
No.
What if you found out when you got home tonight that your wife had a secret other family?
I just don't think it could get away with it.
How?
I don't know how anyone could get away with another life with me. Like, I'm not that naive. I would pick up on stuff.
What's crazy, this isn't the first time I've heard a story like this.
Me too. And you have to be so forgiving. Like, yeah, he's gone for weeks at a time. But, I overlooked that.
I just can't. It is such a full-time job to have a wife. Like, it is exhausting. I don't know if the audience feels that way. And now my wife is a princess. She's amazing. It's exhausting to be married. How you could have a second life
and would want to.
When do you have time for you? When do you have time to go, like, I don't know, go watch a game and drink some beers with the boys or play a round of golf or play poker?
Ain't none of that.
You can't.
It killed him.
It literally killed him.
He had a heart attack. It killed him.
Honestly, probably the best thing that ever happened to him.
It was either going to be self-inflicted or from external forces, but he was going to be dead soon.
Getting double married would have been a disaster. Like, when I first read the story, I thought that this chick was killing her husbands.
Oh, me too. That's the first thing I thought. You're the common denominator here.
That was my thought, but I don't think that was the case.
I don't have enough money. I don't got enough time. I don't got enough patience.
I
don't got enough of anything to do this.
Marriage is expensive. And like, once you start, what you mix your finances and like now you're just missing X amount of dollars every month. And she's like, well, where's all this money going? Well, honey, I'm spending it on chicken wings. I eat I've got a chicken wing addiction.
Terrible wing and gambling addiction.
What? It's just too much. It's not, you got to pick one. Just find yourself one wife. If that. If you can avoid it, maybe avoid it altogether if you've got heart conditions. But yeah, definitely don't try to double dip in the marriage department.
I've always wondered how that even begins. Watching like Breaking Bad, and you watch this like normal cat descend into something terrible, and you go, I see every decision he made. I understand it. You watch a guy, you go, you know what? I could have ended up where he is because the decisions make sense. This guy dying of a heart attack with 2 wives out there. I don't know how you got there. I don't know what decision led to the next, to where you ended up like the day before you were going to get married to another woman that you're dead.
You know what decision led to all the bad things that happened in Breaking Bad? Walter married Skyler.
Yes.
Maybe the worst person in the history of time.
Just about all time.
Yeah. Can you imagine if that was one of your wives?
And then you find out and
then you had to have a second one. I think spoiler alert is expired now that there's already been like a sequel to the show.
I'm gonna live. That's just great.
Yeah. Well, and as I was reading this, I was like, man, there's a whole new I was reading that story, and there's it linked to another story, like another crazy story, and it says experience. My newborn baby was kidnapped from the hospital. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even click on this right now. I'm still flabbergasted by the first story. But this is what I feel sometimes when I read these stories, and now to be fair, I'm always looking for stuff to bring to the show because I want the audience to know about these types of things. But sometimes it makes me feel like I'm a woman scrolling through Instagram and like, oh my gosh, do you know what happened to so-and-so? Do you know what happened to this? Like my wife was, she follows adventures on Instagram, and she's been following this adventure of people who are driving from London to South Africa.
Okay.
Which I don't know why they decided to do this.
I didn't know you could even do that.
But their truck broke in half
Of course it
yesterday.
did.
And they had to make an emergency post asking for money and saying, if we can't get the support, unfortunately, our journey is going to have to end and we're going to have to fly back to London. And in my mind, I'm like, well,
sorry.
Sounds like your journey's over. But I'm also like, there's people, and my wife, she said she's not going to give them money. At least that's what she said. But I'm sure there are people out there who follow these adventures that are like, oh my gosh, I have a connection with these people. I've got to give them money. Sometimes that's how I feel when I scroll through stories like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to read the next. I got to know what happened next.
What happened to the baby?
Where's this baby now? I find myself so invested somehow. But I also, if they were like, my baby's been kidnapped and I need $50,000 to get it back, I would not donate to that GoFundMe.
How much time do you get? I know in looking for these stories that doom scrolling starts. I mean, how many links have you clicked? I mean, how deep would you go into this?
I mean, it all depends on what time the show is going to start.
Okay.
Like sometimes it's kept me up later than it should, especially now that I'm doing mornings. Like when I did afternoon show, I could stay up all night looking up stories and be like, oh, this is going to be great.
See, what I end up with a lot of this is so much of it is clickbait. And you end up in this doom scroll of, I don't even know where I was. I don't even know how I got to this.
I will sometimes I'll see that newborn baby story and I'll click on that and then I'll forget what the original story was. And then I'm like, oh, what was that person's name? And I got to go back and like Google it's like married or was getting married, a husband died, secret life, and then try to find it again.
It's always men too.
Oh, women can't have two husbands at the same time.
I'm all about equality here.
I don't think women want that.
No, I would like to think not.
Women only marry for security. Like wants to be married and have a man live at their house, much less twice. Like that just sounds like.
I mean, present company excluded, right?
No, even you. I mean, hell, even Vic. Vic's wife didn't marry him because she loves being around him and like the sex is so incredible that she's just got to be there. No, being married to dudes is a pain in the ass. For men, you can understand why. It's like, oh, I get to have sex that I don't have to pay for.
Maybe one guy's good with tools. The guy can cook.
Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, that'd be a lazy ass woman.
Well, I would like to think I could be used for my.
I mean, I'll be honest, Rob. I don't think it works like that, even for you.
Maybe. Well,
you're having to use Bridgerton to get sex,
and it hasn't worked so far.
So now you're just
a little something. I'm going to talk to the writers of Bridgerton.
So now you're just watching Bridgerton for fun.
They have lost. They don't realize their purpose in life. They've gotten confused, thinking they're actually a TV show when actually they are a
romance novel. You got one job: lube up my lady.
A little bit of a fluff action. You know what I mean? Little something, little help.
It's not working out.
Little pre-help coital. Warm up. Little British talk. Little something. No, I'm not getting any of that.
I like Peaky Blinders.
See, that didn't work for me either. She didn't understand anything, and I was afraid she was going to cut me with her hat.
My wife gets so mad when we watch Peaky Blinders because I start to talk in that voice. And I'm sure if you talked in like the Bridgerton British accent,
I've tried. It hasn't helped.
It doesn't help.
It has to be somebody else's accent. Mine isn't getting me down the road at all.
I feel like I do a pretty good Peaky Blinders accent, but my wife,
that's not the
whatever
sexy
reason,
accent.
she is not attracted to that at all.
The blimey! See, that's not going to get you.
All
right. See, that doesn't work for anybody but Mrs. Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, it works for them. All right, we got to hit a break. A little more sports, a little more fun.
All right,
let's go a break. It's a morning huddle. Sit right here on 94.1, that Sports Star San Antonio. Ow!
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, Scotty Scheffler in a wild weekend at the PGA Championship. We're going to continue to talk about that. Plus, the Eastern Conference Finals are set. We'll have the latest on the Western Conference playoffs. And Ryan Eagle returns. How did he play this weekend out at the golf course? We're talking about it on The Blitz, starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code ALAMO for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code ALAMO. Prize Picks fantasy. You're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code ALAMO, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This summer, click into cordless power with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Tackle more than half an acre of grass with the convenience and gas-like power of the Ryobi 40-volt battery-powered mower. And keep your flower beds fresh with the 40-volt cordless string trimmer. Then clear debris with the 40-volt jet fan leaf blower. Click into Memorial Day savings happening now at your cordless power source, the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges on your tax debt daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you will owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima Tax have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-480-6932. That's 800-480-6932. 800-480-6932.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
It's showtime. Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Welcome in. We'll go through the daily lines coming up in the next segment, where we take a look around. Although it's not a heavy slate today, because you know why? There's no basketball matches to be had.
We're due a light evening. We get a Game 7 in hockey. That's all that matters.
Are you going to watch it?
Of course I'm going to watch.
Okay. You say of course. I mean, it's not like you're a regular hockey watcher.
You're right, but you've kind of gotten me convinced, although I have watched none of this series. None.
You know, this series does have the guy who's kind of widely regarded as the best player in the world, this Connor McDavid fella.
Been told that.
So at least you'll get a treat there. Yeah, I pretty much always watch a Game 7 if it's available, even if I don't care about the teams, just because, I don't know. I mean, now if it gets to be 4-1, I'll roll right out. But I can tell you this, even if you're not watching, I'm going to ask my audience to make a deal with me here. And I want you to honor this deal, please. I want to ask all of you, if the hockey game is tied in the third period, turn it on and just see what happens. See if you enjoy it. See if you enjoy the last few minutes of a tie hockey game in a Game 7 in overtime. I'm telling you, it is the best overtime in all of sports that remains now. But now that the NFL has gone away from sudden death, I mean, like baseball's, they don't know what they're doing. Like they're putting guys on second base. It's a clown show. Basketball, I wish that basketball was sudden death, like the first basket made or first to 5. Let's do that. That'd make it a lot more interesting, in my opinion. But they don't do it that way.
No, it's awful. I hate it.
But hockey is the best. So if you again, even if you no matter who the teams are, if you don't care about them one lick, and I don't care about either of these teams, if it's tied with 10 minutes or less in the game, just turn it on and do yourself a favor.
Where do we catch this game, by the way? This is a ESPN game?
It is an ESPN game. Hey, Vic, who was the guy who won the ACL things and then didn't call in? What's going on?
It was Mike Knotts.
Mike Knotts. That might be a fake name. We might be like Mose at The Simpsons.
Oh yeah.
Mike Knotts here. I'm looking for Mike Knotts. I think that's what got us.
That's what got us. He got us.
Has anybody seen Mike Knotts?
Anybody seen Mike Knotts? Damn. Yeah. Then you hang up. Yeah. But Mike Knotts,
with a Z, by the way.
Yeah. You've got until the end of the show to call. He said he was calling in. Well, you need to call in again.
Call in right now.
Yeah, call in right now, because we got to get you registered to win. Now, here's what we've done. Vic took the initiative, and he signed up a new winner.
So we'll count.
Yeah,
at some point.
She's in.
Yeah,
we're not going to take her out.
Well,
Alexandra Valverde. But we're going to try to get Mike Knotts in as well. Oh, he's calling?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I'll take the call.
All right. So, but what we'll do is now tomorrow.
Is his middle name Big?
No, Tiny. That's his nickname. It's Tiny.
Only.
I'm looking for Mike Tiny Nuts. But we'll only have 2 people registered tomorrow. But now that Mike is back in the game, so that's good. That I mean, he was the winner.
Well, we did have to call him out.
I mean, yeah. If you win, you should be calling us out, saying,
Right.
"Hey, what's up with this registration?"
But it's only Monday.
That's
They're
true.
just getting warmed up.
That's true. We are going to have one more chance to win coming up in the next segment. There was an announcement. I don't know who's asking for this, but Anderson Silva, you're familiar with him.
Vaguely.
I
watched him fight back about 2005.
I think the most casual MMA fan knows Anderson Silva. He's going to fight Chael Sonnen in a boxing match June 15th in Brazil. It's funny that this is like...
Stop making UFC fighters fight box.
Well, he's fighting another UFC fighter.
I know, but stop doing this.
Listen, I'm with you, but this is the stuff that gets... I said this earlier. People were paying more attention to Mike Tyson, Jake Paul than they were to Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. How? But that's what people care about now. By the way, my old producer from when I was in Austin made news this week, or last week, I should say, at the Tyson Fury presser. Not the Tyson Fury, the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul presser, because he asked Jake Paul when he's going to stop taking gimmick fights and actually fight a real person in his weight class. And Mike Tyson got really angry.
Well, what if Tyson, you called me a gimmick?
That's what he said. What do you call me? And he's like, well, he's 50 something years old, and he's like, what'd you call me? And he had to sit down and shut up. But that was my old producer from Austin, who now works at the Ticket in Dallas, and is I texted him. I was like, hey, you finally made it. Made yourself famous. Congratulations. That's what you always hoped for.
You get to wear that home eventually.
But yeah, I don't know. The thing with that is, like, they're wearing big gloves. It is a gimmick fight. They're going to wear 14-ounce gloves. That's not boxing.
But only UFC fighter gets talked into. You know what? Why don't you just box? Ask a football player. You know what? We're not gonna play football. We're gonna play rugby.
No, but football players go box too. Basketball players go box. Everybody. This is the thing about pro athletes, Rob. Every pro athlete thinks they can fight.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I think they do. Like, I think they all think they're kind of tough guys. Like, even I bet Harrison Butker thinks he could whoop your ass. Like,
well, there's jokes. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna touch that.
But yeah, I do think there is something to, like, and you say, well, go fight MMA. That's...
Well, if I'm an MMA fighter, no, I'm an MMA fighter. I will fight MMA fights. You're a boxer, no, I'm a boxer. I will box.
But what about when you're 49 years old and you can't do MMA anymore?
Find another old 49-year-old MMA dude, and I'd maybe not do it at all. But it always feels like poor UFC fighter. You know what? If you want to make any money at all, fool, you got to stop doing what you're doing and go do the thing that you left or never did for us to pay any damn attention to you.
Well, for those who don't know, Chael Sonnen is a wrestler, and Anderson Silva boxed. I want to say he boxed Jake Paul, if I'm not mistaken. But Anderson Silva fought Chael Sonnen. This is back in 2010. And this is when Anderson Silva was, like, widely regarded as the best fighter in the world, almost seemed unbeatable. And Chael Sonnen dominated him for about 24 minutes. And then at the very end of the fight, Anderson Silva caught him in a triangle choke and he tapped him out. And he was about to lose his title. He'd had 16 straight title defenses and was about to lose to this wrestler from Oregon, and he choked him out. And then they met a couple years later. They fought again. Silva knocked him out with a knee, and then he retired in 2020. But he's boxed a couple times since then. The only loss, it says here, was by decision to Jake Paul back in 2022. So, but now Sonnen's never boxed professionally. He wasn't a good boxer when he was in MMA. I imagine he's going to get beat up here.
So now this should be great.
But also, this fight is in Sao Paulo, which is where Anderson Silva's from. My guess is they just said, hey, Chael Sonnen, do you want a giant pile of money? Because we're trying to sell an arena out for people to see Anderson Silva. That's what's going to be happening here. Anderson Silva has announced that this would be his final fight, his final prize fight of his career. Okay. So no more boxing, no more MMA, no more. He's not going to be in bare knuckle. And this is kind of what bums me out, because, like, guys like Anderson Silva were so good that he should have the kind of money right now that he never even has to think about doing this. But MMA doesn't pay the way boxing does, unfortunately. So he's got to get this last payday in before he hits the road.
Did he wear the chain around his neck?
That's Rampage Jackson you're thinking of. Anderson Silva was he always wore the yellow shorts.
Right. I remember him. I just couldn't remember if he had the chain.
Different guy with the chain. All right. We got to hit our last break. When we come back, we're going to check the daily lines, and we're going to wrap up a Monday, and we're going to take you into Tuesday, baby, because it ain't over till it's over. We're also going to register one more winner, or one more potential winner for these ACL tickets. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Did you wake up this morning feeling good about yourself? Did you look in the mirror, get on the scale, and go, let's attack the day with what I've got, because what I've got is plenty? If that's you, keep it to yourself and carry on about your day. But if you're like most of us, and you woke up this morning a little overweight, didn't feel good, didn't look the way you looked in your clothes, tired, and all the things that go along with being overweight, listen close. There's a fix out there, and it's not far. It's the Institute for Functional Health. I met Dr. Jacob Torres about 8 years ago, feeling a lot like you do today. I didn't think I was going to lose weight, didn't think I'd even try. He convinced me to give it a shot. Listen to him, try something that he had been successful with before, and if I didn't like it, well, I could just carry on and move on without doing anything else. Well, I'll tell you what, it started to work. And before I knew it, I was involved with the Institute for Functional Health and will be from now on. Listen to me close. He is successful because he does the things that you'd expect a physician to do. He takes care of mind and body, but it's how all things come together at the Institute for Functional Health that makes it so successful. He understands we need guidance. We need understanding. We need to be taught how to lose weight. He also understands that there's some genetics and some of the things that played into us gaining weight that we didn't have any control over. He looks at root causes and finds out the reasons why and then fixes those. And before you know it, you're in a good position to start losing some weight. And before you know it, you start losing that weight and feeling good about yourself. If it's time for you to do that, I want you to call Dr. Torres and let him explain to you why he's been so successful. Write this number down. It's 210-468-1891. If it's time to lose weight, that Beachbody's not far behind, but I'm talking about the long-term living life and feeling good about it. Call Dr. Torres today. Go to their website, the Institute for Functional Health. The website is iffhealth.com. Take the functional health test. It will open your eyes. Call Dr. Torres today. I promise you, he will give you some information that you did not think was possible for you. He'll change your life, and when he does, I want you to thank me later.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort. Now, I know you're probably spelling comfort in your head and asking yourself, wait a second, is that possible? Or am I just a really bad speller? Look, I don't know your spelling aptitude, but Skechers most definitely put the S in comfort, because Skechers is the comfort technology company, and Skechers has developed fits and features that change everything you know about comfort. We're talking fits like Relax Fit, Arch Fit, Massage Fit, Stretch Fit, and more. And comfort features like Skechers' exclusive world-famous air-cooled memory foam, or hands-free Skechers slip-ins, the ultimate in comfort and convenience. It's footwear you just step into and they're on, just like that. No touching your shoes, no bending down. Come on, how comfortable is that? Now, if you still don't believe me and you don't understand how Skechers put the S in comfort, there's only one thing left to do. Go try your own pair of Skechers. See for yourself how Skechers put the S in comfort. Find Skechers included slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper, and you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Get ready for the ultimate pop culture experience at the Ace Superhero Comic-Con presented by Thomas J. Henry. Join us June 20th through the 23rd as we welcome Hawkeye's Jeremy Renner, Andor's Diego Luna, and many more stars. Plus, capture a free selfie and autograph with 10 of the celebrities in the free autograph zone. Indulge in our free play arcade, explore Vendor Village, and rock out to daily concerts. Don't miss out. Get your event passes now at pmxevents.com.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This summer, click into cordless power with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Tackle more than half an acre of grass with the convenience and gas-like power of the Ryobi 40-volt battery-powered mower. And keep your flower beds fresh with the 40-volt cordless string trimmer. Then clear debris with the 40-volt jet fan leaf blower. Click into Memorial Day savings happening now at your cordless power source, the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, this is Greeny. We'll tackle the NFL and dive into the NBA today at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. My name is AJ Hoffman. His name is Rob Thompson. And we're finishing up a Monday show here. Feels good to be back after everybody enjoys the weekend, but it is nice to get back in the saddle, especially when it's the end of the first show. No, nobody likes to show up at 4:30 on a Monday, but I got to admit 9:30 on a Monday feels pretty good.
Feeling better than it did at 4:30, and 10 o'clock's going to feel even better than that. Hey, we wake up this morning to the Astros now ganning on the Rangers. Rangers sitting at 500. Astros 21-26.
How about that?
Not quite to June.
You told me not to panic.
Better. Yeah, well,
you told me not to panic when I said I think I was giving up on the Astros, and looky here they are. And on top of that, you know what else is really good news when you look at these AL West standings? The Oakland A's have lost 8 games in a row. And you know what that means, Rob?
Here comes some
I'm
money.
getting
How
close.
many How many
I need over 10.5.
Oh, come on, A's. You got it in you. You can drop 3 or 4.
And I got news for you right now. The A's are at L8, the Nationals L5, the Minnesota Twins L6. They're on a 6-game losing streak. So we got some contenders here, but the A's 8 is strong. Who are the A's? The A's have the day off today. I saw that already. Oh, no.
We got Milwaukee coming to town.
They got the freaking Rockies.
There we go.
That's going to break up the streak. The A's are going to win against the Rockies. That's garbage. And you know what? The A's won a game in the middle of this terrible streak. This should already be at 11. They won 1 game against the Mariners. They've lost 10 out of 11.
How many teams are in the WNBA? I mean, off the top of your head, just what do you think?
10, 12. 12. Give me 12.
I don't know, but it just seems like there's only 4 teams that play at any given time, and one of them is the Fever.
You know what?
Play every day.
Let's do this. Let's make it official here, and let's go around what's going on in Vegas and check out the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
The Fever aren't the only team, Rob. They're just the only team that's getting talked about.
There's only 2 games tonight. I feel like there was only 2 games yesterday, and one of them was the Fever.
No, that was Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Fever had they had a travel day yesterday. They had to travel private, first class, I don't know, charter, something. But they had to travel yesterday, and now they've only played against 2 other teams, though. That is the part that's odd when it comes to the WNBA, is that Caitlin Clark's first 4 games are all against the same 2 teams. There are 12 teams, by the way. And the Indiana Fever, one of 2 0-3 teams. Will the Fever, they're losing by an average of 23 points per game.
Did you see Caitlin walking the beach with the Kobe daughters and roses and all that this weekend?
But you know what? Maybe she should get to work. And maybe she should play a little defense. The Fever are allowing 95 points per game. That would be like an NBA team allowing 180 points per game.
95.
95 that's a lot in the WNBA. 95. But they are, as Rob mentioned, they are in action tonight, and it's the matchup we've all been waiting for again. The Connecticut Sun at the Indiana Fever. The Sun are 6 to 6.5 point favorites. I'm locked in, Rob.
I think it's time to jump back on this train.
The Caitlin hate train. After a quick stop, we're right back on track, Bubba. I believe it.
Go get some money. Go get this. It's not ironclad, but this is about as close a lock we're going to see.
And then, what is Seattle's team called?
They're not the Kraken because that's the hockey team. They are the I don't know.
Seattle is at New York, the Liberty, the Seattle Storm.
That's it.
I was just waiting to see if someone else knew it. I knew it the whole time. I was waiting to see if one of you guys said it, but it is the Seattle Storm at the New York Liberty. And since no one else said it, I had to. The Liberty, 11-point favorites after giving away. I think the league paid them to cover or let the Fever cover, let them make it a competitive game.
It just dawned on me. We are, in fact, talking WNBA lines right now. And that was like in our A block of talking lines. So the Caitlin effect is real.
There's also no other NBA.
Well, there is that, but it is in fact that we have to acknowledge that it is real. This is a real thing, good, bad, or indifferent. This will be the third time in the history of Rob Thompson being alive on this planet that I will have laid money on a WNBA game.
Okay,
so here we sit.
We're the first two times in the last.
I'm happy about it. I'm rather excited about it.
We're the first two times in the last couple of weeks.
They were the last couple of days.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Speaking of real sports happening today, the Canadian Football League preseason week 1 underway. Saskatchewan, a 10-point favorite against Winnipeg. So since we have to make sure we get all these random sports in, there you go. On the ice tonight, though, Edmonton is a -156 favorite at Vancouver. The total is 5.5. All I know is I am hoping for overtime. I hope the under hits because I'm looking for a 2-2 game going into overtime, and I will be glued to the last period. Like I said, no NBA tonight. And on the hill, the Astros, the aforementioned Astros, Framber Valdez goes to the mound. Reed Detmers, a battle of lefties, as the Astros take on the Angels in Houston. The Astros -197. The total in that game sits at 8. And after an ass whooping that the Braves took last night at the hands of Yu Darvish and the Padres, they send Chris Sale to the hill tonight. They are -217 favorites against those same Padres. So
who do you like, Sale or Framber? Give me a picture.
Boy, it's funny because had you asked me this last year, it would have been Framber easy. He struggled so much this year, and Sale looks like he's kind of finding a second wind. I'll still take Framber.
I think Framber tonight. I like it. You had a good outing last.
Yeah, and the Astros are playing better now. So give me the Stros over the Angels tonight. Rangers with a day off, as a lot of teams have a day off today in Major League Baseball. But I guess there's a doubleheader for the Braves today. So I mentioned the one game, Sale and Vasquez, Atlanta and San Diego. The other game is Dylan Cease going for the Padres, Ronaldo Lopez. Ronaldo Lopez has been very good for the Braves, too. He was like a middle reliever and has been great as a starter. That pitching matchup looks a lot better than game 2. But Dylan Cease and Lopez, that total 7.5. Braves -115 favorites there. Other notable pitchers going tonight, Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
We're in.
The Dodgers -225 favorites. You know, the other guy that we've been talking about, Shota Imanaga.
That's the Cub, right?
He's the Cub. And he set a record. This made some history over the weekend. On Saturday, it had a no decision. It was Cubs against Pirates. The Cubs got a 1-0 win. But Imanaga he pitched 7 scoreless innings, struck out 7 guys, 4 hits and a walk. But the Pirates, Bailey Falter, he pitched also very well, and so neither starter got a decision. But Imanaga's ERA is 0.84, which is the lowest ERA in history through a pitcher's first 9 career MLB starts.
That is ridiculous.
His strikeout to walk ratio is 58-9. That is really incredible. And his next start is due against St. Louis, and St. Louis can't hit for a damn anyway. So, I mean, he may go 10. If he gets through 10 starts and is a sub-1 ERA, man, that would be impressive. And the 2 pitchers who came over, I mean, Yamamoto was obviously the bigger name, the bigger star, was the better pitcher in the Japanese league. But Imanaga, on the discount, has been really, really impressive. As like I said, 5 wins on the season so far, but a .84 earned run average. Pretty incredible. You don't see that very often for rookies. But he is a 30-year-old rookie, but still to come over and just dominate major league hitting the way he has, you got to take your hat off to that guy. Speaking of dominating major league hitters, also on Saturday, Walker Buehler, who was once one of the best pitchers in the league. This is the first time he's kind of looked like himself since coming back from Tommy John. 6 innings, just 78 pitches, 3 hits, no runs, struck out 7. So that looks like the Walker Buehler of old. So the Dodgers just finding money on the ground. Like, oh, yeah, your elbow fell off 2 years ago. Come on in and just start kicking everybody's ass. Good news for the old L.A. Dodgers.
And we saw Ohtani. This is a second walk-off.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard times having guys like that.
Yeah. Well, when you have your interpreter following a sword.
You just got to piece things together. When your roster looks like the Dodgers, you just got to
make do with what you got.
You work with what you got,
every now and then a Mookie Blaylock,
Mookie Betts. Mookie Blaylock, not a
Blaylock. Wow,
yeah,
I'm getting
not
tired.
a great hitter.
Every now and then Mookie Betts just shows up. Every now and then you just get an Ohtani. You just make do with what you got there with Dodger Blue. It's just not. They have to work so much harder there.
It's very, very difficult. Very difficult. So, Dodgers continue for things to go their way. Like I said, the A's, things not going their way recently, and I hope give me 3. Come on, Rockies, give me a 3-game winning streak here. You got to do it at some point. I don't think it happens, but that'd be nice. But here's the thing: if the Rockies break that A's winning streak, or if the A's break their streak against the Rockies and they sweep the Rockies will have a 6-game losing streak. So we might be on to something again.
You're not going to get this until August.
I bet. I'm going to get it before the All-Star break.
Get it till August.
Pre-All-Star break.
You think I think it'll happen. You're going to get it. The bet's going to pay. But you're not going to get it till August.
It does feel like every time you got a good streak going,
there's 2.
You run into a scrubby team.
Mm-hmm. And in August, when teams have really set their sights on, we're done. That's when you're going to get it.
And now I just noticed, remember I said the Twins have a 6-game losing streak and the Nationals have a 5-game losing streak? They're about to start a series against each other.
Therein lies the rub. I'm comfortable that the money, you can go ahead and put that in a frame, but
let's get a streak.
It's going to be a few minutes.
I want a sweep in that series. And if there's a sweep in that series, there's hope. Your camera's off again, Rom. What's going on with that?
I don't know exactly what's going on.
Huh. Are you shy about your appearance?
I seem to be, I don't know. I seem to be lagging.
Wow. It's disappointing.
I think we're trying to come back now. No, I'm buffering. I'm like the picture in Back to the Future. I'm slowly disappearing.
The question is, Rob,
am I back in there?
Will the Astros overtake the Rangers? There you are. Will the Astros overtake the Rangers by the All-Star break?
Yeah.
Will the Astros or the Rangers win the AL West, or is Seattle going to win it?
Seattle will not win it.
Will the Astros or the Rangers win
I
the
can
AL
just tell you
West?
Seattle won't win it. I'm going to still say I still like the Rangers, man. I
Okay.
think both teams are playoff bound, but Rangers
collapsing lately. They're playing like garbage right now. And again, it's I guess it's been the ebbs and flows. The fact that these two teams are only separated by 2.5 games lets you know how well the Astros have played lately and how bad the Rangers have played lately, because it looked like the Rangers were running away from the Stros, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Astros have won 8 out of 10. They were in dead ass last in the AL West. Now all the way up to third. They've passed up the Angels and the A's. The A's, like I said, who have lost 8 straight games. The best team in baseball right now, the Philadelphia Phillies, 34-14. Pretty impressive considering, Trey Turner's been on the IL. It feels like they're always banged up. They keep on, and they're in a tough division with Atlanta. You're lucky because you've got Miami and the Nationals, but when Atlanta's 5 games out from you, things are going pretty well for the Phillies right now.
Robert Thompson, hell of a manager.
Well, yeah, hell of a man. Hell of a man. Forget the Udger.
Spells his last name a little weird, but it's from what I've been told.
Yeah,
hell of a guy.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby. So there you go. That is the daily lines, and we'll have some basketball on track tomorrow. I'm going to finish us out with one more story. This is a story of Florida man.
All right.
Florida man was arrested in Sarasota. What do you think he stole, Rob?
Let's see. I'll
give you 3 guesses.
Sarasota. He stole another man's crack pipe.
Nope, didn't do that. How about a school bus?
Oh, well, something easy.
That's a bold move, right? You can't really hide. He stole a school bus, drove to Miami. Daniel Saiz, he's from Lando Lakes, which some people think of as a margarine.
That's what I was saying. Isn't that a butter?
I think so, but yeah. He was arrested, charged with grand theft auto, and booked into the county jail. Troopers stopped him early Sunday morning while he was driving a stolen Hillsborough County school bus. That's the thing. You can't really go under the radar.
Especially on a Sunday morning.
Here's the thing, though. Here's why I want to know if he deserves leniency. Because let's face it, Scotty Scheffler's getting leniency. We assume Scotty Scheffler, the judge today, is going to throw out his case, even though he admitted a crime. He assaulted an officer. My guess is because of his white rich man privilege, he's going to walk away scot-free from this. Now, here's what Saez, he admits to the crime as well. He's not trying to hide it. He said, when I stole the bus, I was high and drunk.
Okay.
I made a mistake. I drove it to Miami, and I said, you know what? After he sobered up, he said, what I've done is wrong. I got to take this bus back to Sarasota. So he's taking the bus back to return it, and he gets pulled over.
Darn it.
On the way back.
Darn it. He's just trying to do good.
Do the right thing, right?
Some guys just are unlucky.
Now, this doesn't feel like a thug. This feels like a guy who's
thuggish.
It feels to me like he is reformed. Like there's no need to punish him further because his guilty conscience was enough punishment. He apologized, unlike Scotty Scheffler.
Well,
did Scotty Scheffler say, I apologize to that officer for assaulting him? No, you never heard that. But here this guy is saying, you know what, man? I got messed up. I did a really dumb thing, and I was trying to fix it. And they're going to throw the book at him, I bet.
I would imagine he's going to do some time. But I
Grand
appreciate the
Theft
effort.
Auto, they're going to call it.
I'm taking it back, Ossifer.
Right?
I'm taking it back. I didn't realize that the kiddies were going to need it tomorrow.
And he was able to pass a sobriety test. So, that part of his story is true. He sobered up and said, what have I done? I've got to fix this mistake. I think it doesn't say this in the story, but I'm guessing he prayed about it. And the Lord told him take that bus back.
Did he have a key, or do you hotwire a bus?
I think someone left the keys in the bus.
I think if there's no damage, I think not only should they not charge him, but maybe hire him.
There is a school bus driver shortage in this country.
And this dude made it all the way to Miami and halfway back, by his own account, half drunk and stoned. Just think what this guy can do sober.
He should have to refuel it.
Oh, it's like a rental car, yeah.
Yeah, you bring it back where you took it. But kind of like that guy who took the Tesla, and
well,
you don't want to get charged.
Was it a long bus or a short bus?
It looks like a full-size bus.
Was it a yellow one?
Yeah, yeah.
A typical yellow school bus?
Yeah, that's it right there.
There we have it. You know, the problem with pulling over one of those buses is they keep pulling that stop sign out. You got to stop.
Even the cops?
Everybody got to stop. So you're almost there to pull them over. He puts that stop sign on. They just...
Actually, what happened is he pulled over, the stop sign came out, and then Scotty Scheffler drove around him for some reason. I don't know why. I guess Scotty Scheffler was in a hurry to drive back to Louisville. He just drove around the school bus. But guess what? They let him go.
Well,
the school bus driver, he's under arrest for grand theft auto. But Scotty Scheffler, they just slap on the wrist. Go on your way, thug. Go do it again. You know, talk about a guy who you know is going to go out and just reoffend. Scotty Scheffler's got the profile.
When you go light on crime, it comes back to bite you in the ass.
I'll be honest. I would not. Whoever the DA is in I don't know what county Louisville's in. I'm going to call it Louisville County. Whatever district attorney is running that show, I would not reelect them because they are way too soft on crime. I'm not buying it.
And where's Scheffler playing next? Because we're going to have to pay very close attention to him when he arrives.
I mean, who knows? He might take the week off.
Does he have to register when he lands in a new jurisdiction? Should he?
Well, he's not
he's not a sex offender,
but
he's a cop offender. He's assaulted a police officer. Should he have to go introduce himself to the local police? Let him know, like, I have assaulted one of your brethren.
If I'll just say this: if I were the cops in the next town, I'd want to know.
I would.
Oh, but you know what? It's a home game for him. Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial in Fort Worth. You know, Scheffler, they're probably going to pat him on the back. Hey, I heard you beat up one of them Kentucky boys. That a boy?
Well done.
Way to whoop his ass.
Well done. Sir.
All right, that is going to do it, friends. Monday in the books. Again, tomorrow things will look up if it's a Monday for you. Tomorrow will be better.
Believe me.
Maybe.
Could be
for Rob
worse.
Thompson, I'm AJ Hoffman.
Probably
It
will
is
be.
the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.